Let it begin!
And then that's when I told her, Shotgun, I barely know her. I'm not muted. Shut up, Goatman. Shut up. Shut up.
V, I'm not a lawyer, but even I know that's really bad. You're going to jail, dog. You're going to federal prison.
Listen. If they can't find the body, right? If they can't find the body, am I really gonna get in trouble? That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Do they suspect you?
No! I've yet to have them come to my door!
Did you at least get rid of the teeth?
Get rid of the teeth?
Yeah, you have to get rid of the teeth.
What do you mean I have to get rid of the teeth?
If you're getting rid of a body, you have to get rid of the teeth, because pigs won't eat it. Bones don't break down like that.
Pigs don't eat teeth?
No! That's like one of those like no bit. Like that's something that I've seen in like true crimes. Like people have done that. Pigs will not eat teeth. That's how they use to identify bodies if people try to get rid of them, because pigs will eat literally everything.
So they just
won't eat teeth. Or they won't digest it. They're too hard.
So it just passes through them and they poop it back out.
Yeah, so that's how forensics can identify people through dental records.
That's fucking wild. I've learned something today.
You always learn something new.
I know. Hi everybody, welcome on in. Don't worry about it. Welcome on in everybody. How we doing? Welcome to another episode of Fallen Confessions, a twitch.tv confessional booth. And joining me today is the one, the only, the lovely Hulky Crow.
Hello! Thank you very much for having me, V.
Well, thank you for being here. Do you mind letting some of the folks who have shown up early know who exactly you are?
Well, howdy. So, I mean, number one, my name is Hulky Crow. I'm normally a Tengu TV host VTuber. I'm a bit less scantily clad and a bit less Romanesque or Hellenistic, that is. But I do streaming, I do voiceover. I'm kind of just a big red schmuck on the internet.
That's the fucker that can't get back to me on fixing audio. T, don't bully Hulky. Hold on, wait. Oh, that reminds me. Hold on, wait. Hulky, I need to do one thing. What? I need to lock the door to make sure that the goblin can't get in. I'm not saying the goblin hasn't kicked down the confessional booth door like twice.
So, however, Tia can't yell at me. No, correct. It's earned. Because I'm like, oh yeah, no, I've got time this week. We could do something with that. And then I forget because I'm like running around like, no pun intended, like a chicken with their head cut off, trying to get things sorted for the stream. And then I forget. The good news is they're giving me medication. The bad news is the state wants me to take something stronger.
Whoa, what the fuck? Uh-oh.
Not for like, no, you need to take this, but New York State doesn't like to write scripts for things like Vyvanse, which would be a better, less intense drug, because I'm ADHD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for like the first time, I'm considering like, okay, I'll try medication for something like this. But I was informed that by like certain providers were like, yeah, we could write you a script for this, but what if you did Adderall first?
Why start you up and then work down? Don't you start down and then work up?
Like, dude, I don't want to be shaken here, like drooling over my stove after cleaning it for 6 hours, strung out on medical meth. I want to be functional so I can do my job and then go further with what I do. Like, come on.
Holy shit. Listen, I don't pretend to understand the American healthcare system in any state. It bothers me. I have words on it. Right before we went live, I was talking to Hulky a little bit about the, my, in-person job, and while I don't want to say too much, y'all know at the very least, I work in the medical field, and, I I got stories about medication and how certain things are handled.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to drag this Tengu into a confessional booth and demand them, in fact, to confess to a few different questions that I got here tonight. Hey, weed is cool, but have you tried fentanyl? Holy fuck.
Thank you, Sackler family. I have. I mean, carfentanyl's fine. It's good for, like, coming out of surgery. That's it.
I mean, listen, all medication has its purpose, right?
Well, yeah. Like, I've had opiates. I've had, like, fentanyl when I've come out of surgery. It's normal.
Same.
I didn't buy it on the street and strung out like a fucking candy cane on Sunset Boulevard.
You did do the lean.
No, I did not fentanyl.
Morphine, my beloved. Listen, I got to take Vicodin. I got to take the Funny House drug. But yeah, we're here to ask a few questions. For those that don't know what the confessional booth is, who haven't tuned into any of the other episodes, or who are new here, whatever. Fallen Confessions is a confessional booth where I drag in one of my buds and sit them down to ask a few different questions here and there. Some of them can be, nice and polite, like how I've asked a few different guests, like, what's the meanest thing you've done as a 12-year-old? Which that is a question. Or that I'm definitely going to be asking at some point tonight. Or, fucking when I asked Grim that one time to delete one Pokemon, from existence, ghost-type Pokemon from existence. To all the way to asking some more personal questions here and there. Now, I do want to remind you, chat, some important ground rules. First things first, my guest's comfort comes over literally everything the fuck else. While light ball busting may and will occur during any of these conversations, at the end of the day, we should not be shaming our guests on any questions that they are actually answering truthfully, because some of these can hit some really close to home topics. As well, if at any point a guest, even though that I've sent them like the questions beforehand to go and get approved, if at any point the guest feels uncomfortable with the topic or wants to move on from a topic, they have the end say on that. I respect that, and I expect you guys to respect that. And if you don't, all the mods know exactly what to do. So, without further ado, Hulky, are you ready to answer some hard questions?
Absolutely. I think I understand how this goes. Forgive me, Feather, for I have sinned. I have come seeking absolution.
I'm glad you called me Feather. I'm gonna let you know right now, I think it was my first or second guess. I had two different guests drop the, I'm sorry, Daddy, I've been naughty on me. I fucking, listen, some of the things have already been said in this booth. So, classic shot. Alright. So our first question, kind of poking at you, Bird Brain, right over there. As a Tengu.
I love that song.
Right? Tengus. They're known for playing tricks on monks up there in the mountains. Alright? What's the worst trick you've ever played on a Buddhist monk?
What's the worst trick I've ever played on a Buddhist monk? You know, Tengu are known to be rather mischievous creatures. I don't make any gripes about that. I won't counter that claim.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I have done personally, and I've made mention of this previously on some other exchanges that I've had with some other people, I'm a fan of the aphorism, if you meet Buddha on the road, kill him. It was a teaching from a school of thought, the interpretation of Buddhist scripture by a Chinese scholar, stating that something to the effect of the true Buddha would never quite reveal themselves to you. They would be too modest. They would be enlightened. Or I guess at the end of the day, the real interpretation was whatever your idea of Buddha is, it's wrong. And you should reevaluate how you think about things, how you conceptualize the Buddha. Or maybe don't, because you're not quite there yet. Needless to say, this monk was rather impressionable, and several other monks were likewise impressionable. But at the very least, the grove of sakura blossoms is quite lovely on the road leading up to the studio.
Okay.
I had to stop telling that joke.
As someone who, admittedly, when it comes to mythology, that is a lot of Japanese mythology is a blind spot for me. What do you mean by the sakura blossoms on the road to the studio are beautiful? Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, plants need nutrients to grow, V.
And
what makes the finest nutrients for plants? What enriches the soil?
Compost.
Correct. And from compost, the trees grow, and to compost, we will return. So don't go barking up my tree if a couple Buddhist monks go missing in your neighborhood. I'm simply improving the overall aesthetics.
Look, I'm tied to the Abrahamic religions. I'll deal with my priests. You can do whatever you're doing with the monks over there. That's your business, not my business.
All I try to do is give information to enrich people's lives. Truly, it's just hey, recontextualize your beliefs.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure that you're on the path to enlightenment. Samsara is closed as a lock, but accepting that will bring you closer. That doesn't mean you should just go killing people who you think are Buddha or who tell you that they're Buddha as a joke.
I'm walking down the street, someone looks at me, haha, I'm like Buddha. I immediately pull out the gun.
Your expression just drops, you lock in.
So I have I do have a question in that, to kind of tap the fourth wall and poke the man behind the Tengu here real quick. So, are you a big fan of Buddhist all that Buddhist mythology and stuff like that, or like, did you kind of study up on this after, choosing to be like, you know what, I kind of want to be a Tengu VTuber? Like, what part came first, the egg or the chicken here?
Definitely the. Wait.
Waiting.
I was like, I'm leering. You can't tell I'm leering at you. Like, what do you mean by that? So in terms of interest in spiritualism as well as Buddhist faith and teachings, it's something that I've known about well since primary school, because way back when in the aughts, young Hulky through social studies learned about a bunch of different faiths and creeds, particularly Asian and East Asian schools of thought. Buddhism, Shintoism, Taoism, kind of learning the bits and pieces of them. A lot of that has been lost to it, but while still retaining those little nuggets of information, it's something that still impacted me and lingered with me. But growing older and certainly getting exposed to those concepts, as well as the spirituality of it, the mythologization of certain interpretations of that, as well as how it's played on other faiths as well. Things like Hinduism, Jainism, like Shaivites versus is it Kalites? I forget. I know a lot of information through one of my relatives. I believe that she was raised Shaivite, so I have a bit of exposure to that. But it's the interest in cultural diffusion and how these common beliefs then propagated outwards into these other regions, which impacted their people, the way that spirituality and faith developed as well. And to kind of come back to the point at hand, Tengu as whether you look at them as spirits, as mythical creatures, cryptids, yokai, regardless of the interpretation, because as a unified concept, they exist in several different cultural legacies as well as faiths, or just like oral traditions, things like animism. They have these common traits, but you can still, like Buddhism, see these elements and things that play into that. Definitely took a greater interest afterwards and wanting to pay respect to certain elements that I looked into that inspired me. I'll just rip the Band-Aid off a little bit in the vein of certain media draws heavy on these themes, which catalyzed an idea in my mind of, this is fucking awesome. I should read more on this and understand this. Thank you. Thank you so much, Asura's Wrath as well. And greater concepts well beyond that. And while I do not claim to be an expert, nor can I authoritatively speak on the subject, I think it's beautiful and complex, the themes that it kind of discusses, like release of suffering, accepting the world for what it is, but also one's own place and the cycle, bettering things, which I feel like I'm in my typical ADHD fashion, I am rambling a little bit.
That's fine. Go keep rambling. This is interesting.
It comes back to, like, I guess impacting me as a person of, I consider myself spiritual, but I don't have like a faith or given spirituality. I'm very much impacted by the schools of thought and the ideas that they are introduced, which help me, as a lot of people, live a life that they feel is truer to themselves. Basically, like, what is your own credo? Do you adhere to a certain school of thought, or do you borrow from a lot of these things as well? Like me, I mean, I was raised Christian, raised Catholic, been a bunch of different denominations, but through exposure to other schools of thoughts, through, Abrahamic creeds, the Dharmic faiths as well, borrowing from those that help me, I feel, live a better life of, treat other people as you want to be treated, golden rule type things, but cultivate legacies that transcend you of positivity, leave the world in a better place than you found it. But the idea of, like, a greater cycle, ashes to ashes, dust to dust type things, karmic balances, the idea of the universe as some wider thing, things that even go beyond what you and, like, the average person who isn't versed in things like Gnosticism and the occult would necessarily know about. And greater concepts to cosmology that the average person might not necessarily know or understand. All of those things come together and shape me of who I am in this ongoing journey of, how do I, on my one world line, travel through the ever-expanding fabric of time, and where is it going to take me? And changing as the universe changes with me, and meeting those challenges as they come. Be the living proof. Be the universe in and of itself.
Holy shit. I think that's the most in-depth, like, answer to the, hey, where'd you come up with your VTuber I've ever gotten. I fucking love that. Especially because, like, as someone born, raised Catholic, and I kind of went down my own path of, like, not questioning my faith, but more so looking deep, wanting more out of my spirituality. Like, and doing all the study of all the Abrahamic religions and knowing trying to learn as much as I can from its Greco origins to, now. It's, I think a lot of people don't understand just how do I phrase this? The cultural impact and life impact that a faith can have, even regardless of what faith, regardless of what denomination, regardless of how it does, and how even strict you follow it to the T. There, at some point, faith has affected some aspect of your life, and to see how this is manifested for different people is fucking fascinating. And I'm glad because unfortunately, there are folks that have, upsetting interactions with different denominations and organizations of churches, and that's as far as I'm going to get on that topic. But I'm glad to
Oh,
see
totally.
you kind of just fully embrace that and let that kind of be the inspiration for a lot of different stuff in your life, including the bird that you yap as on the internet.
I will say, in terms of the inspiration to that, a lot of that does go to Salty. Salty is ultimately, of anybody else, my muse with the depth of information that she pours over and knows. A theologian herself, but she just knows so fucking much. And her inspirations on that, there is design mock-ups for that, like inspiration of things like Shintoism and animism in terms of even religious garb, which went into the overall design. But also the inspiration of these other, specifically as far as Tengu, the mythologization of the anthropomorphized bird, be that harpies, Tengu, thunderbirds, rocks, things like all these, this unified oral and like cultural legacies that all these cultures have similarities of.
Oh yeah, no, because something like I did try, because again, before like I brought you on, my knowledge of Tengu is literally just, oh yeah, those are the bird dudes, the really long noses, and I went down the path of trying to, look into them a little bit before I drummed up this question. But like something neat that I found out is that like they weren't always birds, and like, or they weren't always like characterized with the long nose. It was more avian before, and then if we go even further back, there's I forget what the Chinese word for it specifically is, but like I think the translation for it comes out to like heavenly dogs, and they're more described. I don't know if it's exactly like dog creatures per se, but they're not described exactly like as Tengu as we would know it. And their mythology was almost more, and again, based on the very, very light skimming that I did, more akin to like almost angelic beings in a way, right?
Yeah, like wind spirits. They were kind of bereft of mortal vice and the iniquities of man. They were like tricksters, but at the end of the day, there's a commonality of wanting to interact with people, but also almost in a Promethean sense, giving knowledge to man. But there became sort of an inverse cultural osmosis where they began to take on the worst aspects of mankind. Their bickering, greed, vice, like, and you boil it down to one thing. And it perverted them in kind. They became a little bit more wicked or isolated themselves. But still, this prevailing idea of a wind spirit, whether that was something more canine, more ape-like, more bird-like, or more anthropomorphic, like people. It's a myth that kind of evolved with time as culture spread to these different areas. Or in a grander sense of scale, regardless of the culture, even if it wasn't like Tengu, the idea of similar creatures with their wiles, of these avian tricksters that would play havoc on the minds of mortals. And regardless if they have divine origins or not, this interlinked cultural legacy of people.
Oh yeah. It's that happens so often within almost every single mythology. One of my favorite kind of breakdowns of that is looking at, I don't know if you've ever bothered to try and look up the history of the evolution of the god Dionysus in Greek culture. It is fucking wild, because he got added to the pantheon a little bit later, but like his proto-Greek origins come more from like different I'm spacing the word for it for the region, but from like different cults from outside of like the Greek peninsula, and then it kind of just got amorphed into the Greek religion as that kind of tradition and talk and of that cult got passed down and then mixed with Greek culture and stuff like that. So it's it goes back to the point we poked at earlier. Faith is culture, is history, is this mythology is just, it's oral tradition, right?
Yeah. Belief is deeply interwoven with us as people, as a species. It's one of the core things that define us as, like, as people.
Oh yeah. And we never kind of stop, like, I'm gonna be this pretentious asshole for a second. We never stopped kind of wanting to put stock into new faiths. It's just we change the words of what they are. Because if you go and look at, like, Norse mythology is a great example of this. Go look at any story about Thor, and you go and, like, think about it for half a second, and you're like, oh, this is like a very early kind of shitty superhero story. And it is. It is. Because the modern day superhero is just the modern day mythology. It's why we resonate with superheroes so strong. It's why I feel, don't get me wrong, I get why some people bring up superhero fatigue, but it's like, I feel folks write off superheroes just cape shit very easily, because it's a continuation of that tradition of just telling stories of creatures, of characters, of beings that are greater than us, that we should be either aspiring to or using as an example to avoid their failings. Stuff like that.
Yeah. The need and want for belief in something greater, I agree, always has existed, and it will continue to exist, because there's something that transcends pure rationality. It's the want to expand our minds. It's introspection. We desire to know more simply because it fascinates us. That is just what defines us as people. We categorize as consciousness with sapience, moreover. The myth just evolves to things that once was just taking the space of faith and religion to something like, you said, superheroes. But you could even extend that same praxis to something like a want to believe in cryptozoology, conspiracy theories, the idea of something that is greater beyond, that defies the natural order of things, that's some force, the machinations behind the world that we know is there and we can see and touch and feel, but a want to believe in something more.
I just want to hang up the "I want to believe" poster in the background right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, as you were.
No, like, that very much that same line of thinking. A question that came up before in relation, people have asked me, like, oh, what inspired you to do, like, characters like Bill? Because I bake in a lot of, like, TTRPG stuff. I bake parts of myself into every character that I do. And I love the idea of things like cryptozoology, conspiracy, because it's some kind of thing that scratches that part of your lizard brain, that you dive a little bit deeper into this primal fear of the unknown, but also this deep fascination of, I want to understand and make sense of so much that defies the average explanation. And even if at the end of the day it is something purely rational, it isn't some clandestine thing. It's beautiful to toy with the idea of the unknown in one's own head. That the universe is this ever-expanding frontier of things we don't know, and extend our consciousness outwards to try and wrap our head around something we just can't get.
It's why I fucking fully agree. It's why, like, something that pisses me off. Again, this is the most I'm going to skirt the topic of complaining about the church. But, like, it's something that upsets me deeply is when one of the phrases I hate the most is the phrase "taking it as Bible." Because, like, even, and I say this all the time, the Bible should not be taken as Bible. It's, a lot of these faiths and ideas and these explorations are just that. It's an idea of trying to explore out the universe and make sense of it all and to figure things out. And I feel a lot of folks do a disservice to any faith when they sit there and don't have fun with it. Don't allow themselves to use it as a message to try and figure out their own place in life. And that extends to literally anything else, whether or not they're so stuck in their ideas and of how just the world works, even outside of faith too, that they don't allow themselves that exploration. You should allow it. Obviously, be reasonable about it. Still try to find concrete in what is definitively concrete, but, like, it's a beautiful thing to go out and to go through those thoughts and to explore the universe in that way, you know?
I couldn't agree more. Something that I like to entertain, it's a common aphorism that I find echo in my own head, especially running up against topics of things like orthodoxy and faith. But believe me, my father's been trying for years to try and bring me back to the fold, the black sheep that I may be in that way, and try to explain things. But the one thought that I have that guides me through life is, even if I've moved away from that kind of faith, the impact still remains.
Mm-hmm.
And if we were created in the image of some divine being, even if it was a uniocracy of a single being, or a monotheistic faith, if like capital G God made us in our image and wanted us to do as it did, why would we be given the ability to create, to explore, and to even question the existence of something beyond? We were given providence to explore and have absolute free will. And I like kind of the way that Star had posted about it in chat. How much can someone really learn from a single point of reference? Life is infinite in complexity. It does you... If something asks you to not ask questions, there is a beauty in trusting that something will be taken care of, but you should not deny your own curiosity if it means that you will come to understand and learn something more about yourself, your belief, and the world around you. If faith cannot withstand scrutiny, then is it truly worth believing? But
Pulky, out of quick curiosity, are you a fan of the series Good Omens? Because if you're not, you should really watch Good Omens.
I have never... You're the like fifth person who has told me to watch Good Omens. I've still not watched it. I know nothing about it.
All I'm going to say, without even talking about what it's about, it touches on that so fucking heavily in, like, it's two seasons in one movie special. Fuck you, Neil Gaiman. I can't recommend it enough. Sorry, you're saying a lot of things that just is present in that series. I'm like, I swear to God, Pookie has not watched this. Sorry, continue.
No. Again, like it's probably a series I should watch because I probably would engage with it. But I also don't want to, like, wheel my legs up over my head and smell my own farts of, yes, this series is validating my belief structure. I am right, and these people are stupid around me.
I can say it's not that level. It's more of someone else's expression of similar thought, right?
I know what you mean. I'm just poking fun at that. I'm sure I would enjoy that. I'm sure that's great. Yeah, also fuck me.
Wizlock, I don't have time to get into what Neil Gaiman did, but I'm just gonna say this right now. He's a misogynist, and fuck that guy. Abusive too. Fuck that guy.
But yeah, so to put a finer point on it, I think it's beautiful that everybody has different faiths, and I don't think anyone necessarily I don't think it's right to tell everyone like, hey, this is the right way to live. Because even my philosophy is not right for everybody. If someone chooses to live like a secular or ascetic life where they just kind of want to reflect on their relationship with their creator or whatever their interpretation of spirituality or faith is, I think that's beautiful. I think it's like a tremendous show of will, especially like these ascetics who live up in a fucking cave and have nothing. Like, you know what? I'm going to give up literally everything in life, in the world, just so I can contemplate my place in the universe. I find disagreement with the points of like punching down to other people or hating people for just silly reasons. That's where I, of course, draw my line. But I think it's beautiful the way that we interact with the world, how we categorize. Find your own way. Don't let me tell you how to live your life. Find your own path and find what calls to you. But leave a legacy of kindness. Make a world worth continuing to exist in.
Exactly. Try to put more into it than you got out of it. Ultimately, at the end of the day...
I hope I'm not
Go ahead.
I hope I've not strayed too far into like a yabai topic already.
You have not. Again. This is the shit I love whenever we get to talking on like this confessional booth. I fucking. Yeah, this is a good phenotype of what these questions should be. I asked a dumb VTuber question, and we got into moral philosophy. Please. Go off. That being said, I'm gonna use this as a good transition point, because, speaking of moral philosophy, and talking about the good and evils of the world, do you know what truly is evil? Kids. Kids are evil. Fuck kids. Don't fuck kids, but fuck kids. But we've all been a kid at one point. We've all done stupid kid shit. We've all done evil kid shit. Hulky.
Yeah.
What's the most evil thing you've ever done as a kid?
Most evil thing that I have done?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking back a very long time, what memories have we not suppressed? I kid, of course. As a kid, truthfully, my late, as far as goodness, I was a pretty good kid. Very, very straight edge, very follow the rules. It was not very adventurous. I think the worst thing that I did, and I still think about it, it haunts me to this day. I definitely filched some Pokemon cards from a friend of mine when I was a kid. And I felt so fucking bad. Because they never knew. But I knew when I was just, it haunted me. I ended up sneaking the cards back in to their deck.
So you never got caught.
They will never know. I know I never got caught, but my own moral compass is I'm going to hell forever. This fucking sucks. I don't want to feel like this. I couldn't do this.
Listen, to this day, if I ever take anything from anybody, even though I kind of refer to myself as agnostic now, that whole old Catholic mind of just like, and Dan for all eternity, goodbye. And I'm just like, no, it's there.
Catholic guilt lingers. It will never leave me be, no matter how far away I've moved from Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
That's also why it shaped me in the like decades following of I hate this, because I recognize how fucking awful that made me feel and how it would make somebody else feel to lose their things and someone being stolen from as well.
Mm-hmm.
So to know someone who's like has no compulsions against that, like their moral fiber is so bankrupt of, oh yeah, I'm just gonna fucking steal this. Fuck you.
Oh yeah.
If I can learn as like a wee Babin, like running around like throwing dirt at my friends and getting dirt thrown at me and catching frogs, if you can't do that as an adult, something's wrong with you.
I do have to. I'm curious because the moment you mentioned that you stole Pokemon cards, the back of my mind, the first question, like thing that popped in was like, "Oh, that's evil. Oh, that's terrible." Not that. It was all right, but like, what cards was it? Who did you steal?
Trying to remember what specifically it was. I believe it was. This was sometime in like elementary or middle school, an early middle school, where they were just starting to experiment a bit more with proper 3D in their cards. I recall it was a Charizard from one of the sets. Like, tell me I'm LARPing right now that it was a fucking Charizard card. But the other one was a Deoxys card. Deoxys was one of my Pokemon back then. And my friend had a foil of both cards.
Fucking look, and I get big respect. I love Gen 3. That was my favorite generation. Fuck you guys if you're gonna complain about all the water.
Gen 3 is fucking awesome. It is still like tied with Gen 4, but I think Gen 3 still edges it out.
I'm mixed on Gen 4. I liked some of the Pokemon in it. My favorite Pokemon is still a Gen 4 Pokemon. But like, I don't know. There were some parts that just didn't... I can go back and comfortably replay through Ruby and Sapphire, no problem. But when I pick up Diamond and Pearl, I just get this, like, ugh sensation. I don't remember why. I probably buried the, like, a memory of just this section of Diamond and Pearl I fucking hate. But I can't remember it for the life of me, and I haven't gone back to explore yet. Holy shit.
God, like, the starting areas of Diamond and Pearl are probably the biggest reason why I have not played Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl. Not only because they're not as good, because they're fucking bad remakes. But oh my god, I think I would want to brain myself if I was slogging through fucking Orberg as well as the starting areas around Jubilife to get back to, like, Eternicity and everything around that. I just want to skip to having anything to fucking do.
I think that's probably the part that I'm remembering, because I remember the start of, like, Diamond and Pearl just kind of being a slog, and then eventually everything just kind of all opens up at once.
Yep.
God.
Once the region proper actually opens up to you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I hate the railroady bits of it.
Same.
See, like, that same... Go on.
I was gonna say, love the... Do you remember the minigame in Diamond and Pearl that had the underground, that if you were connected to other buds, you all could occupy the underground? Dude, I fucking love
the underground!
Yeah! The fucking capture the flag you could do
never did anything with it!
I know! I'm not gonna lie. Something I fucking miss the shit out of. Same deal with Street Passes. I miss being able to just, like, close distance Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi, but, like, signal connect to other people's games and do neat shit like that. And we don't have that anymore, cause, like, no one's doing handhelds and the Switch 2 is not that, right? God. Sorry, you were gonna say something before I brought up the underground.
Oh, in the same vein of, like, everything being open to you, you can do it with what you want, or do what you want with the game. That's, for any of the faults that it does have, I fucking love Scarlet and Violet. Easily my top 3, because it just lets you go where you want to go. And it's gated by your skill at that point, how much you can actually, like, survive the higher level areas early game. You can't get basically every single place, but you can fuck around and go many places you can't go or not supposed to.
I'm unfortunately about to be that person. I fell off of Pokemon right after Diamond and Pearl. The only other Pokemon that I've played, besides some of the remakes, is I got into Sun and Moon, and I played through the original Sun and Moon and had a decently okay time. But, like, it didn't leave me wanting more. And then
you know what? That's a valid response, because regular Sun and Moon is so railroady, it's fucking boring.
Yeah, I can agree with that, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I think my brain was a little too distracted with, it's been so long since I've even caught a Pokemon, that the railroading didn't bother me as much, but, like, looking back on it now, that's probably why I didn't have that feeling of, like, how do I phrase this feeling of vastness that every other Pokemon game had, because, you know, all of them really captured the adventure of you being a 10-year-old going off on an adventure in the world, catching Pokemon, not knowing where the fuck you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right, actually, Sun and Moon doesn't have that shit. Maybe that wasn't the game to get back into Pokemon on.
No, it wasn't. No, but Ultra is the better version. Because it feels like a completed version of Sun and Moon. There's an actual, like, better overarching plot. They do something with Necrozma. The game is wider. There's more things to do. It's still, like, the worst parts about that are the fucking ride Pokemon instead of HMs. Because it's cool in concept, but how much it just keeps you on rails is rather annoying. I'm of the minority that I loved Gen 7. I really, really like Sun and Moon. Alola is my favorite region by far. But man, it's a toughie. It's tough to kind of enjoy as a whole product.
Gotcha. So if you were Go ahead.
I like Lily's mom going, "This is a god! Run! I failed! Save yourself!" Instead of getting personality overwritten in regular Sun and Moon.
Yeah. Wait, that's a line in the Ultra remake?
Yes! Because she fucks up so bad! Because she has the same personality, but instead of getting puppeted by Nihiligo? I still don't even know how to pronounce that Pokemon. The funny jellyfish that looks like Lily. Abandoned plot point of the Ultra Beast that look like various people. Yeah, she fucks up real bad with Necrozma. It's like, yeah, no, this thing will actually kill you. Run.
I fucking love that. Holy shit. I love any piece of Pokemon media that just mentions, oh yeah, Pokemon are fucking terrifying, by the way. Like, daily reminder, this is a, creature that can bend the fabric of reality. Not me just staring at, Gen 5, because something that still gets me to this day is, because I left Pokemon for a little bit, and, like, I didn't follow it for a bit, and then I came back, and, like, I started listening to some buds talk about it, and they all keep talking about, oh yeah, praise Arceus, and I'm like, who's Arceus? And they're like, oh, that's God. And I'm like, oh, and they're telling me all this neat shit about Arceus, and I'm like, oh, has he made an appearance in the game yet? Oh yeah, you can catch him in, I think it's Gen 5, he's the Pokemon there. So like, hey, here's this 10-year-old fighting God, and will more than likely just win.
Oh.
Holy shit. If you were to recommend a Pokemon for me to get into, like, to try and get me back into it one more time, what Pokemon would you suggest?
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Really?
Pokemon Legends Arceus is one of the best Pokemon games they have ever released. It takes itself seriously. It treats you of, how much do you know about it? Do you know about the general thrust of PLA?
I know literally nothing.
I don't want to spoil it for you. It's the first Pokemon in the game that feels like you're playing Pokemon. Because they are dangerous wild animals, you actually have to stalk them and hunt them, and the world itself is untamed. There are also, it's the first game where it gets proper adult in terms of its thematics. Like within the first couple minutes of the game, they're like, yeah, go out there and prove yourself or leave our village to be consumed by the wilderness.
Wild.
Because it's the prehistory of Sinnoh.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, it's ancient Sinnoh.
It doesn't take place during the current, like, modern timeline. It takes place further back.
So, I'll tell you this because it happens in the opening cutscene of the game. You are the protagonist from Diamond and Pearl. Arceus sends you back in time to the founding of Sinnoh. The game takes place in, effectively, I would say, 1800s Sinnoh, where it's steam powered. There's the advent of early technology, but it's not much. A lot of it is low tech. You are playing in like the feudal era, and you are tasked with the helping out these survey corps with the Galaxy research team to survey the new region. And you're running up against, because these are people who are travelers from another region, I believe Galar.
Mm-hmm.
And they're there expanding because they're settlers in Sinnoh. However, it is known as Hisui in that time. And Sinnoh was actually the name for what the rival clans occupying the land of Hisui, the Diamond and Pearl clans, refer to as God, which happens to be their interpretations of Palkia and Dialga.
Mm-hmm.
Or what they think Arceus actually is. And you're trying to see what's going on because they're not only, hey, I'm like 14 or 16 years old from 2008. This is like 1860. You're Marty McFly in Back to the Future 3.
Why did nobody tell me that that's wild? That's like, I've not heard anyone, like, I've heard of the game obviously being launched, because I know, like, I think the first or second one on the Switch, and, like, I've heard reactions to it. No one told me the plot was that fucking wild. What? Holy shit. Pokemon Inuyasha.
It is so good. It is so good. It is such a good game.
Oh. Alright. Well, I'm adding that one to my fucking... I have a Switch. I can play it.
I will also say, if you get a Switch 2 at some point, at that point, I would say play Scarlet or Violet.
Mm-hmm.
At that, I only say, do you like the past or do you like the future?
I mean, I like sci-fi, so the future is more interesting
Play
to
Violet.
me.
Play Violet. That is all I will say. Pokemon Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet have the two, in my opinion, and it's not universal, have the two best final acts of the entire franchise.
Wild.
I think I want to say, because technically it's sort of post-game that you actually finish the game in Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that final fight is so fucking good. There's nothing else like it.
I'll have to fucking add it to the list.
Whole, the whole final act of Scarlet and Violet is it's cinematic, it's beautiful, it's a crystallization of everything in the game thematically. It's really, really...
Hell yeah.
Like, I will not say I've not been moved to tears. And it's silly to say that. I feel like, what's his name? Like Greg Butts, that one dude who everyone like memed to death for like crying over seeing The Force Awakens. I wasn't quite moved.
I need to cut in. I'm gonna be honest. Well, don't get me wrong, don't be that asshole in the movie theater that fucking ruins the viewing experience for everybody else by fucking, like, bursting out too loud during certain scenes. Like, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but just the short end of it.
Oh, no.
I hate it when people bully other folks for showing genuine reactions of passion. If something makes you cry, that means it was strong enough, the movie, to make you cry. Let people have their fucking moment, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it wasn't in the theater. It was when the trailer first dropped for Force Awakens. It became an infamous thing, and he really got dragged for it. But I mean, the guy really fucking likes Star Wars, so like, good for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, I understand when a piece of media resonates with you that strongly. Same thing happened with like finishing Final Shape with D2, but a Pokemon game has not moved me emotionally in the same way that Scarlet and Violet has. Singular among the entire franchise, I've never been moved in the way that I have with the end of that game.
Fucking, if I ever pick up a Switch 2, it'll be the first thing I buy. We'll see, we'll see.
Only reason I say that is it just, the performance is night and fucking day. Oh my god, the Switch 1 struggles to run Scarlet and Violet.
That's fair. Again, I didn't even, so I'll admit, like, I love my Switch whenever I do use it, but the reason, like, I haven't gone out and got a Switch 2 is I kind of just, how do I phrase this? I haven't had really a lot of games that pulled me back in to want to get it, and I'm A-okay with the idea of buying within reason, buying a console for a game, because I think something that a lot of folks don't quite understand is the idea of a generational game, right? Because we used to have those all the fucking time, and we don't anymore. Like, again, the best example I can pull of this from somewhat modern, Bloodborne. That's a generational game. There are people that bought a PlayStation 4 just to play Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel we haven't had too many generational games like that as of late. And that's why I haven't, like, bought a PS5, I haven't gotten the newest Xbox, and why I haven't gotten, the Switch 2 is just, I haven't had a game to really make me want to get those. I want to, because I like supporting the game industry, but, you know, it's, finding those generational games is, it feels like it's getting harder and harder, you know?
Yeah. I agree.
All right. Real quick though, I do want to use something we brought up is the conversation of past or future fantasy or sci-fi here. I'm gonna snag that as an excuse to transfer over into the next question, but real quick, I'm gonna give us 5 minutes because we have the ad break coming up. So I'm gonna real quick chat, put us over to be right back to give Hulky and me some time to get up, grab some to drink, let the ads play out. Because I don't want you guys to start missing anything. So we'll be back in a minute or two after the ad break's done. Don't go anywhere, okay? Mwah.
Don't leave.
And we're back, everybody. How we doing?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. We're back. We have gotten refreshment. Hopefully we have emptied bladders. I know I did. Hulky, I don't know if you did. If you didn't, oh well. See you in like another hour.
Yippee!
Yippee! Or get the gamer bottle that I know you have, because you're a gamer.
I don't do that. I don't pee in bottles, dude.
You don't got your gamer bottle?
No.
With all the anime waifu stickers on it?
Yes!
Would it upset you if I told you I actually had a bud of mine that had a gamer bottle with anime waifu stickers on it?
Oh.
I'm very sorry.
Yes, it would.
Listen, I have a friend of mine. He's one of those kind of people, and the depths of his depravity scare me. But we're not here to talk about that. I ate my bladder. Don't do that. You're eating piss. We're back to dive into some more questions. Hulky, you ready to just dive right back into this?
Sure am.
Alright, good. Well, next up, because we mentioned about past, future, fantasy, and sci-fi and all that beforehand. Speaking of another series that has a version of it that's kind of one that's low-tech and fantasy-esque, and then one that's in the future and sci-fi-esque. Warhammer.
I think I know what you're asking me about. Yeah, Warhammer?
Yeah,
okay.
Warhammer. We're getting on to Warhammer. Specifically, I've been here to talk more about the fantasy side. No, not fantasy. The fucking sci-fi side. We're talking about Warhammer 40,000. There's a lot of characters in that series. A lot of characters. A lot of characters. Holy shit, there's a lot of characters. And some of them have done some really fucked up things. It's the nature of the grimdark future of the year 40,000. And sometimes we all defend those fucked up little guys that do fucked up little things. What character in the year 40,000 are you willing to defend with your heart and soul, regardless of whatever they've done?
Oh, easy. Fucking Angron. Angron did nothing wrong.
Oh, what do you mean Angron did nothing wrong?
All Angron wanted to do, all he wanted to do was to die a warrior's death freeing his people. And he was made into a monster thereafter. It's like, oh no, we can't do anything with the butcher's nails, but you can go and murder everybody indiscriminately and be our warhounds and slaughter people. All he wanted was to not be a space boy. He, at his moment of triumph, where he probably would have succeeded, Dad shows up and takes him and was like, yes, it's time to go to heaven, my son. And then he says, well, yeah, but my guys are down there, my best friends and my people who are family. Can you save them? Can you, like, stop the revolution, help the revolution so we can overthrow these assholes? No. I could, but no.
Okay, it all goes back to the father, doesn't it? Holy shit.
Oh, fuck the Emperor.
Fuck the Emperor. Listen.
He's a fucking asshole.
While I'm not a Magnus defender, I am a Magnus did nothing wrong person. Part of the reason I'm a Chaos player is mainly because if you look at every fucking, with the exception of one, with every fucking Chaos Primarch, all of them fell due to mistreatment from their father in one way or another. I'm just saying, Dad's kind of a cunt.
Yeah, he is.
The
other one I would say is Purdy. Literally all he wanted to do was build. He just wanted to build. He's the only Chaos Primarch who got better after his fall. You
have no idea. As an Iron Warriors player, as a collector of my Lead Belcher painted boys, how vindicated I'm feeling in this moment.
He's so tragic!
Literally, it was him that fucking coined the term Eye of Terror, and he's like, guys, I don't know about that warp storm over there, and most of his brothers are just like, wow, look at this nerd. Like, what the fuck?
Yep. He is just not listened to. They don't fucking care what he has to say. He's like, I don't care about you, you stupid idiot. Blow up this castle. Destroy this world. I don't fucking care if you want to build something. You're going to destroy because your brother Dorn, I've decided he's the builder. He can do that. We can't have two. Everybody gets a gimmick. He's already got one. I already found him first. Destroy the fucking wall. And he's an asshole. He is an asshole to his son. But he actually learns to love them and becomes a better father for his legion after his fall to chaos.
Oh yeah.
He grows as a person. I don't fucking care that he's laying siege to a bunch of different worlds. I mean, the Demenculab is pretty bad, but I'm also pretty sure he hates Hansu.
Yeah, he definitively does. Hansu, especially because, keep in mind, Hansu doesn't have his gene seed. He has Dorn's gene seed.
Oh, really? I see.
Yeah.
My Iron Warriors lore is lacking. That is so
they cover
fitting.
that so heavily in Storm of Iron. Because it's before Hansu became a warsmith. It's the story of how he ascended to one, and the story revolves around the actual warsmith for the Legion he's serving under is like a character that doesn't appear until the end of the book to hand the reins off to him. For the most part, it's Hansu and 3 other warlords underneath this warsmith's control that are all trying to effectively be Daddy's favorite, and the only common thread that stops them from killing all of them killing each other is the fact that all of them will sit there having an argument over how to deal with the siege that they're on, and then just all of them will be like, hey, at least my idea wasn't as stupid as Hansu over there, and they all just start ragging on him. Ultimately, he's the only one to not die by the end of the book, but, yeah, he's, Imperial Fist gene seed. Like, they remind him all the fucking time, yeah, you're not one of our brothers, you're a son of Dorn.
We hate your ass.
Yeah.
The things you did were even worse. You're just disgusting. I hate you.
Correct.
Hear me out. Pert, while sympathetic, is also a massive man-child who never told his boss he wanted a promotion, a pay raise, or vacation, then got angry he never got one. He's autistic! He doesn't vocalize those things! He is very much a spectrum-coded character! So yeah, I fucking get that he didn't vocalize a lot of these things. He's deeply creative and passionate!
Fucking leave our poor autistic boy alone, okay?
Peter Turbo he did many things wrong, but I fucking love him. I will never not stand for my boy Peter Turbo.
Name me a Primarch that hasn't done at least 1 or 2 things wrong. Exactly my point, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think...
It's obviously my fan Primarch of the 20th Legion because they were expunged for being too cool and too epic and awesome, and they're often a secret mission, the Eye of Terror from the Emperor themselves.
One of the 2 Primarchs that weren't mentioned in lore. It's my Primarch.
Sanguinius.
I guess.
Sanguinius' greatest sins are giving all of his sons a genetic compulsion for blood play and also dying. He failed to kill Horus, and that's what he did wrong.
Alright, you know, I will give him a pass for failing to kill Horus, cause Jesus fuck. Horus was scary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah! He literally pregnant with the power of the 4 Chaos Gods. He was the avatar of Chaos given form.
Yep. Even before that, there's a reason why the Emperor made him the fucking, War Master, fucking the Lunar Wolves and, Horus were a force to be fucking reckoned with.
Yeah.
Horus Pregnandant? Yeah, he became Pregante with all the Chaos Gods all at the same time. It was really fucked up and weird.
I would have just not died. Ah, yes, we have found the actual hidden son of the Emperor.
Yep. Fuck off.
I love that response. Like, yeah, I just wouldn't have died. I just would have low-diffed Horus.
I
believe you. I believe you.
I could have done it. Farsight can do nothing wrong. A, Farsight can do things wrong. B, we're talking about I said what Primarch, not what character. Granted, I will admit my Tau knowledge is, not that great compared. So, as far as, the actual, like, Farsight's Enclave I don't know much about. I know a good amount about the rest of the Tau, but Farsight, I'm kind of weak in.
He's got a demon sword that he doesn't know is a demon sword.
I know that he has the demon sword that he doesn't know is a demon sword, and it's extending his life because he's accidentally drinking souls. Which, by the way, daily reminder, Commander Farsight is eating souls, even if he doesn't understand that he's eating souls.
Yeah.
Hulky, what faction do you think is, like, if you had to say your 40k blind spot, like, what faction or sub-faction would you call your 40k blind spot?
Oh, Tau, easy. I don't fucking know anything about him. I hate the Tau.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about them besides they are Gundams, fish, and they have hypertech, but they're also stupid.
So, I used to hate the Tau a lot. I agree with you, and don't get me wrong, I still have a lot of issues with them as far as the aesthetics of 40k and stuff like that. But, I think, like, after I read, For the Greater Good, which, by the way, the best Caiaphas Cain novel is that one. I don't know, my opinion on them have changed a little bit. I don't vehemently hate them. But I feel on you on them being a blind spot just because, I don't know, maybe it's just due to time and tide. Granted, it's been 20 fucking years since they've been introduced, but, like, because of them being such a young race and the appeal of 40k being such as, like, you know, old, dead universe, effectively, that people are fighting over the corpse of, literally in some cases, I think that's why, that for me is still why Tau don't resonate as strongly as any other fucking faction.
I believe that there is more, like you're saying. I just don't know enough about them. They don't intrigue me in the same way, because I understand them and I get them, but it is a Herculean effort to make me care about them. I just don't care about the Tau.
So, kind of like taking that bit and flipping it on its head, what got you into Warhammer 40,000? Was it like you saw one of the factions, went, "This is neat"? Did you have another bud introduce you? Was it one of the, like, other like sources, like the games, any videos, any novels? Like, what was kind of your first bite, if you will?
Technical first bite was back in middle school, where a friend at the time introduced me to the tabletop and, like, kind of explained what it was. I didn't want to paint miniatures. I thought that was too much work, and the thought of doing that filled me with anxiety, so I'd never grabbed onto it. My actual, what got me into it? The Boreal cast.
Really?
Yep, that was my introduction to 40k proper. I dove headfirst into all of the memes and the online culture for it then after, and the rest is history.
Fair enough. And you've been doing a lot with that franchise ever since.
Sure have.
Fucking playing in a Wrath and Glory campaign, I believe voice acting in The Emperor Had a Texas Speech, if I recall.
I did.
Yeah, like, it's not, I would say it wouldn't be a small thing to say that you're now, I don't want to say, I don't want to be that asshole blowing smoke up your ass and be like, oh, you're a major person within the community, but no, you've given a lot to this fucking community since then. And it's kind of, how do I say this? 40k is such a fascinating franchise to get into, not just as the franchise itself, but also the, kind of just it as a hobby and as a community, because yeah, there's the building models aspect, yeah, there's all the novels, yeah, there's this, that, whatnot, but I have never had a hobby that's been so quite all-encompassing on so many different facets as 40k, right?
Oh my god, yes.
Because, like, you could spend, I'm sure that you've experienced this before, but oh hey, me and some 40k nerds are talking about 40k in a room with people that don't know it, and they don't quite understand why we can keep going about this topic and just not shut the fuck up. Sky, when he was out here visiting, and this is gonna be the last dissertation I give on this topic before throwing it back over to you. But Sky one time came out to visit me and hang out with some buds, and me, my roommate, and another bud were all 40k fans. One morning we woke up, started talking about 40k while getting dressed to leave the apartment, got in the car, got to the restaurant, sat down, ate at the restaurant, got up and were leaving, and we were still talking 40k, and that poor bastard knows nothing, and he's like, hey, I'm glad that you guys are really passionate and excited about this. We've been talking about it for 4 hours. Can we change the subject? And I feel that's something that it's really hard to kind of, like, express to folks, right? Like, have you ever had a moment where you're sitting there and trying to just quantify to people, no, this isn't just, like, a silly little space thing that I'm into. This is kind of... It'd be almost extreme to say a part of me, but, like, something that has become just that engrossed in my life that it controls many different facets, you know?
I agree. Like, same sort of thing happened to me. It became all-consuming for, like, the better part of 10 years. It was insane. And still does. Like, no matter how much I've gotten away from it and how I've distanced myself as far as, you know, starting off doing solo streaming as just a 40k themed content creator, it still remains omnipresent, especially as more and more people get exposed to it by different modalities. But yeah, there's just so much you could fucking talk about with it. So I sympathize, but it's really easy to be in your position of like, yeah, there's just a lot to talk about. It's fun, especially when you're just getting into it too.
Oh my god, yeah. So have you actually, because I know you build and paint, do you actually go down to an LGS to play, or have you never, due to one reason or another, never really gotten to sit there and engage with the pushing of the army men across the board, if you will?
I have played tabletop. Most recently, I played it with my buddy Invictus and my friend Sam, Lara's boyfriend. I was over at their house playing. We did a 2v1. I think Invictus was running, was it Jane Czar? But like a bunch of Howling Banshees, Eldar versus Abaddon in Black Legion. Man, I fucking hate playing against Chaos. Abaddon is scary on the tabletop. But I play very sporadically. I'm mostly in it for the hobby. I don't really go to my local LGS other than to occasionally just browse it for the fun of seeing the shop. I kind of would like to, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know how much time I have to get down. I don't know anybody in the area who's actively playing or has the patience to like roll with it. And also, in sometimes, it's like the safety of it all too.
Safety in what way?
Just personal expression.
You know, that's
because you can get a lot of grognards. You can get people who are kind of like, hey, yeah.
God, don't get me. All right, so legitimately, one of the, because I've played at a few different LGSs around my area, and the one of them was a proper, like, you know, Warhammer branded Warhammer store back when they were just called Games Workshop stores, right? And I went in, and probably the worst experience I ever had was playing against a AdMech player in one of them, because he was the most insufferable asshole and also low-key misogynistic. It was very uncomfortable, because,
damn.
Yeah, me and a bud were hanging out there, and we had, the bud's friend who was, you know, a woman. And you could tell that they were very much so. You ever see that stereotype of the nerd that sees a woman and is confused as to what this creature in their vicinity is? Yeah. Unfortunately, they were that level of nerd, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that one.
Not sure if I'm a fan of that one. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, so I don't. I don't blame you uh for that, because it's really hard to find a LGS that passes the vibe check. Because you also just don't know who's going to come in and out, and then as well, you have the different communities that are within an LGS. Daily reminder that your Magic the Gathering community is always going to be the worst in your LGS, period.
Oh, yeah. That is the one I've heard ubiquitously is the worst.
Don't get me started. So, besides possibly wanting to play the tabletop more, what's a facet of the hobby that you've kind of wanted to engage with more, but haven't gotten the ability to? I say this as someone who probably has engaged with most of the hobby at this point.
Honestly, like, truly, it's play more games. It's just because it takes so long to actually play because I don't have them down pat like the back of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes forever for me to actually properly play it. Honestly, I wish I was playing more because I have army lists built out, like, proper tabletop ready, or ideally to play meta, but I just don't play it as often. And again, partially because I just like doing the hobby, and I like with my fucking army men and making it exactly as I want it to be.
Oh yeah.
Ironically, I am an AdMech player. I love AdMech. They are my favorite faction, bar none.
I have nothing against AdMech. Outside the fact that both you and Tia are both AdMech players, and if I start talking shit, I'll get toasters thrown at me. I fell in love with Iron Warriors because of their use of technology, and I've always found that kind of the way that technology is represented in 40k really neat. It's just I've had one bad experience, but I'm not letting that kind of spoil the pot, if you will.
That's fair. As you shouldn't. As you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. God. No, that would be... No, but I get you on that, because, like, again, some of the most fun I've had with this hobby was playing the tabletop. For me, that was... Like, I started off with, Dawn of War... No one's surprised. And then transferred over to, into actually playing the tabletop. And I think some of my favorite years of my 20s were spent just sitting around playing. But part of the reason I fell out of it, besides gripes with Games Workshop aside, time and tide. Yeah, I don't blame you for not being like, just trying to find the time is a headache. Because as someone who played it regularly, it was. Oh, boy. So, I kind of... Speaking of the difference between, fantasy and then 40k itself, have you actually looked into fantasy at all? Does that half the franchise interest you at all, or has that just not been something that you've touched upon?
I've looked into fantasy a little bit. I don't really know a whole lot about it comparatively. I'm universally more interested in sci-fi over fantasy. It just tends not to grab me in the same way. Fantasy's neat. It has some of the best sculpts in miniatures. It's a shame that they're that good and their teams are separate because, oh my god, the facial sculpts for fantasy are way better than 40k.
Oh, yeah.
Not a million potatoes. But I probably won't play fantasy ever.
I was there with you. I have just recently went half season on a box set for fantasy because the new Chaos Warrior models look so good. But no, I feel you on that one. Though, speaking of sci-fi and fantasy, because I am going to use this as a moment to broach into another hyperfixation. I'm jumping a little bit in the questions that I've asked, or sent you. Because speaking of sci-fi and fantasy, and one of the series that, while leaning more sci-fi, is a good marriage of the two, and is another hyperfixation that both you and me share. Rest in peace, our beloved Destiny 2.
Rest in peace. Fuck you, Pete Parsons. Fuck you, Sony.
Fuck you, Pete Parsons. Fuck you, Sony. But we're gonna save that for a little bit later after I ask the question. But in Destiny 2, there are many different parts of the lore that are really neat, and also a lot of guns. Holy shit, a lot of guns. And one of those fucking guns, one of those categories of guns that everybody knows and loves are the exotics. Are
True.
really weird ones. The ones that people builds around. If you could delete one exotic gun from Destiny 2, keep in mind, gun to head, you're being forced to delete an exotic gun here. You can't say no to any of them. Which gun would it be and why? Hard mode, you can't say Telesto.
Cool, I won't say Telesto. Ace of Spades, immediate answer. I fucking hate Ace of Spades. I hate Hunters and Crucible. It is the most annoying fucking dog shit to get a free, I'm gonna one-tap you and kill you instantly and then scale that the entire match.
Holy shit, outswinging Ace of Spades. Every hunter within like a 12-mile radius is now aggroed to.
Yeah, every hunter's sucking their fucking thumbs, crunching on their one pistol that they've had for 7 years that has never not been viable or meta in PvP. I am so sick to bastard death of dealing with Ace of Spades hunters. And especially those motherfuckers who go invisible and then spend half the match jerking off, getting into positions where you're just out of eye shot where you can't actually see them, and then they dome you and kill you and they reproc their ace stacks.
Is this where I like
cool gun?
It is a cool gun, don't get me wrong. I love my Cade, but I'm gonna be honest, I kind of agree with you. And I'm glad I've been silent on this for so long because I've been afraid of angering every hunter, but you're valid, you're right. I hate how dominant just hand cannons in general are in PvP, and it fucking pisses me off. Holy shit.
They've had their time in the sun, but more often than not, no matter what the meta is, they tend to gravitate between different archetypes. The hand cannons have just been this evergreen, and as they should. They are fun to use. They fulfill a really cool power fantasy of, I have big hunk of metal that shoots an angry bee and I'll fucking kill you. But like, God, it's selfish because it's not even like a balance reason necessarily. It is just, I'm so sick of this gun.
No,
if I had to pick a different gun though that is not motivated by my immense bias against hunters. I just booted up Destiny to figure out.
Yeah, I noticed, by the way. That's, if you heard me chuckle during the middle of my spiel, it's because I noticed as I'm talking about Destiny.
I figured it was that.
Continue.
I'm looking through the list of exotics right now. What would I remove? What would I necessarily get? Let's see.
Can I throw out mine?
Absolutely. What would yours be, V?
Tractor cannon.
Really? Why tractor?
It's very similar to why I dislike Div, but how do I phrase this? I don't know, maybe it's just me personally. At the very end of the day, I feel like at least Div, being the Div bitch for your group is not as annoying as being the tractor bitch for your group. Because
I agree with you.
At least you still have a heavy weapon at that point that can do, like, big boom and fun things. But, like, tractor cannon is not fun to use. The only fun I've ever had using it is memeing with it in PvP, and that is it.
Yeah. The entirety of your DPS meta as a tractor cannon user, or for filling that debuff slot on your team, is let everybody else have fun for that encounter. Maybe pop like a thunder crash, and then every 6 seconds. It is. I agree with you. I think it's I get its use. It does not feel fun to use. I hate using tractor cannon. The only time it is fun is in a hot swap meta. Right now, thankfully, with the new stuff the Purpley added for threat level, and I forget the other shotgun. Hot swap meta is back, and it's better than it's ever been.
I've seen, and it looks so delicious.
Triple shotty feels so cool. But it's still annoying to like have to keep proccing your debuff with your heavy. It's not as fun.
It's why, like, especially because for a while, tractor cannon's debuff was a lot stronger of a source of that debuff versus other sources of it, and that's another big issue I had. Yeah, it's an easy way to get that debuff, but I would have preferred it just be an easier way, not also easy and the best way. because, fucking, don't get me wrong, I'm an Arc Warlock through and through, that's my favorite one, but, like, if I wanted to swap the Void and apply the any suppression via that way, I prefer to do it with that and with my build rather than just, here's the funny fart cannon, go.
Yep.
Also, yeah, Raishin, fucking Hulky over here eats Crayola.
I do. I am absolutely a Titan main. 1000%.
What's your favorite flavor?
Favorite flavor? Probably Arctitan.
Alright. I
I
speaking
love...
of Crayola, but, of Titan, that's fair. Continue.
Like, I love Bonk Titan. Bonk Titan's my other favorite. I predominantly played it when they foolishly removed the ability to play Bonk Titan effectively, whether that was via Burning Fists or with Loreley. Another reason why Edge of Fate killed Destiny 2. Everything just became ass, and you could no longer viably throw throwing hammers because they just removed Resto and made it bad for no reason. But I had always, ever since they added Thunder Crash, preferred Arctitan, because nothing fulfills the Titan fantasy more of, I get to run up and punch you in the head, and then I get faster, and then I can throw myself into you like a missile, and there's an exotic that lets me turn that into a big damage super. And then Arc 3.0 happened, and it's like, oh shit, I never have to take this off, because now I'm proccing lightning bolts on you with things like either Trinity Ghoul, Thunderlord, now Anarchy has it as well. It all just works out, and it feels so fucking good.
Oh my gosh. God, no, I feel you on that one. While 99% of my time is in Warlock, the other 1% is in Arc Titan for that very reason. Like,
yeah,
it's just fun. It's just fun. And I also shake your hand. Thank God, finally a Titan main that isn't like my favorite Solar. Like, I get it. The throwing hammer is really neat. But I want to see other things. It's like my same, well, not to the same extent, my similar issue with, actually Solar in general now I think about it, but like Solar Hunters, like, I just see so many of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's either Solar or Void.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everybody has Prismatics. Prismatics is fucking funny.
Yeah.
But for Hunters, it's either play PvE with Goldie and have fun. And they have a really fun kit. I give them that.
Yeah.
Or play Void Hunter and you get to be the debuffer with Tether, which is fine. Or be a menace in PvP with your free kill you instantly melee.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Hunters have melee magnetism where have you ever seen that one video? It's been memed to death, but it's been around for like 2 decades at this point, where it's like COD 4 or Modern Warfare 2, where it's a guy with like aim hacks. He flies out of a window on a map across the entire map with his knife and stabs somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. Hunter melee feels like that. But everybody else has like phantom melees.
No, fucking, oh, God. Legitimately, I do wish, and granted, this last update, a lot of builds have been viable, and that's something that I've been glad to see. Don't get me wrong, obviously there's still the old reliables and people using those, but, I've been happy to see more and more folks experiment outside of those normal comfort zones of just this is the spec that everybody runs because it does the big number. Yep. I have, God, I bless my fucking raid lead. Granted, he's been doing this long before this update, but like, unless he has to, he will stick on Strand Hunter the entire time, and bless his heart if like, but I like it though, because I'm not seeing Solar. I'm getting to see the fucking, him turn tangles into Beyblades all the time, and him grappling around. And that, for me, is at least a breath of fresh air. Cause, I don't know, for me, this goes to any MMO. I love the fantasy of a bunch of different people all coming together with their different toolkits they specialize in, and trying to figure out how to make those work, rather than everyone just doing the, hey, here's the win option. Click.
I like that, save for contest. I want everybody to have the we are going to win option. If you are not doing that, I will fucking kill you.
Oh,
I will grind your head into paste.
Contest is a different story altogether. Fucking.
Yeah, but I agree. It shouldn't. It feels more fun when it's an even keel and everybody can do something different and it remains viable.
Mm-hmm. Out of curiosity, on the topic of contests, how many contest modes have you actually gotten to finish?
Let me go to my emblems and I'll tell you how many I've actually completed. Let's see. For contest clears, I have, and this includes challenge for the reprises, I have Vault of Glass, Vow, King's Fall, Root of Nightmares, but who fucking doesn't? Who did I do anything beyond that? Contest, Sundered Doctrine. I don't think what other ones that if I'm missing
sad you didn't
anything.
Get a contest for the last Pantheon. Don't get me started.
Was there a contest emblem for OG Pantheon, or you're talking about the one they just released?
The one they just released. I don't think OG had a contest, because that one, the big deal with that was Godslayer.
Oh, sad we didn't get a contest. Yeah, no, I agree.
Sorry, I was reading off chat on that one.
Oh, my bad. I misheard you.
You're good.
So let's see. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. 5 or 6. 5 or 6. And then everything from OG Pantheon as well. I've not really done new Pantheon as much yet. I would like to. I want to go.
Go ahead.
God, I want to get it. I want to get my 5. I hate 5 feet. I hate 5 feet. Cutthroat is the worst fucking modifier in this game. Oh my god, I hate Cutthroat so much. I really want to go back and get Immortal and get the final titles of the game, because that's PvE is my bread and butter. That's what I love the most about Destiny.
Same. Like,
fucking... I almost.
Go ahead.
Honestly, I almost got Contest Crota and Contest Deepstone. My clanmates got Deepstone. I just didn't have a proper team, and it fell apart. Really, that was my first contest attempt. Oh man, that would not go well. But fucking Contest Crota broke us. That was, I think, the beginning of the end.
Don't get me started. So I never had a proper raid group that wanted to do contest modes for the longest time, and it was a feather in my cap that I wanted. And funny enough, out there in chat, Raijin, one of my fucking clansmates, he was the one that got me into the current clan that I'm in now, and they're like, yeah, we need a 6 for the contest mode, do you want to do it? And I'm like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy! And the first contest I ever did was Contest Crota, and holy fuck nut was I... Like, don't get me wrong, I was enjoying myself, because the act of actually playing a contest is fun and fascinating, but if I did not want to throat punch half that raid group by, like, hour 20.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that one. Fucking Contest Crota, holy shit, dude. We eventually, by, like, later into day 1, the cumulative day 1, we got and cleared Crota, but I think collectively like, fuck this. We're not making it through challenge mode.
Same. We cleared main, but we didn't clear the challenge because just it took us, I think it was like the 26-hour mark that we killed Crota, and we just didn't want to go back in.
It's valid.
With the exception of our clan leader, but that man is dauntless. Everything could be going wrong, and his attitude is just entirely, all right, guys. Sorry, hold on, I have to do the Scottish accent. All right, well, let's give it a go. Like that's he cannot be. He cannot be fucking arsed with being demotivated. But beyond that, like, the vibes were not immaculate by the end of Crota.
Yeah. Felt.
Mm-hmm. Were you there on boots on the ground to try and push Salvation's Edge, or did you just not bother for that? How far?
We got to Herald of Finality and gave up.
Herald, we just could not. I try to remember. That's fight 2, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
That or we cleared Herald earlier on, and I think we were all losing steam around whatever the fucking third one was for ping-ponging.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at that point we got down to like, yeah, it does not matter how far we are getting, we are not clearing Verity.
Yep. Flatly. Like,
for some reason.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, first encounter was just so overwhelmingly brutal to our psyches because we could not get the timing down. The damage attenuation just felt so fucking hard, as it should be, because it was supposed to be the last raid.
Mm-hmm.
But oh god, I wish we could go back and do that. That was my biggest hope, and it'll never happen. It never was going to happen. It'll still never happen. Is if they really wanted to put this game on life support indefinitely, make contest available, but you can only use the things in the game at that point in time. But it would be so hard to even like make the game code itself correctly that it'll never happen.
Oh,
I just wanted the chance to right the wrong and be able to attempt contests for everything I missed, even the ones I never tried.
No, fucking I agree with you on that. Cause like, yeah, I'm kind of sad I never got to go back and do the contest just from not having folks that were interested at those times. But as well, granted again, Salvation's Edge, even with the fucking drama that I had with my raid group trying to form and get together, like there was no way we were being Verity, but just being there in a new raid with that modifier on, not knowing what the fuck you're doing, and just experiencing those mechanics for the first time, and just fighting against those odds to try and piece together a puzzle while the toughest enemies in the game are shooting at you. There's literally nothing like it, and there never will be anything like that in the gaming industry ever.
Nope.
It's the phrase "you had to be there," but in this one instance, a good use of that. Because I wouldn't call it FOMO. I would call that as a good example of a timed event of something. Yeah. Because, God.
And Tech, I do see you. Like, you are right. The Cutthroat is supposed to emulate Contest. I think it feels worse than Contest.
Agreed.
But I agree. It is you had to be there moment. There is nothing like the thrill of doing Contest. I just think over time, whether my teammates began to move away from the game and didn't play as much, or having to LFG with people because my clanmates didn't want to play, it just wasn't there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Cutthroat with extra feats is empirically worse than Contest. Yes, I agree. It's worse than Contest in every single way.
Yeah, Contest is just a straight up, like, dick in your wall of, hey, here's just some difficulty thrown on top. Good luck. Manage. But no, I get you on the whole losing that it factor. Because, Raj, and I'm stealing this from you, buddy. The Destiny is the friend slop game. When it comes down to it, so, like, don't get me wrong, I love the lore, and we could sit here and rant about the lore forever. I love the guns, I love the gunplay, stuff like that. My best memories with that game is still going through the encounters, the raids, everything. With the Raid Night is, in Destiny 2, is magic, right? And fucking, if you don't have the folks to go through that with, it just doesn't work. But when you do have the folks to go through that kind of content with, it's just magical.
Yep.
So I'm curious though, what got I mean, obviously, I'm gonna assume probably I played Halo and therefore I wanted to play Destiny, but like, what got you into playing Destiny with you and your buds? Were you just a carryover Halo fanboy, or was it something else?
Yeah, I loved Halo. I played 3 was my first real exposure to it, and then I properly played Reach. It was my first console that I really owned and got to try something current gen on. Because I mean, the Wii is the Wii. I'm not gonna fuck that.
It's the Wii.
The Xbox 360 changed everything for me because I was a late adopter to it with the slim model. Or it was the I think it was the Elite 360, where it had like the snatched waist Xbox. That and the initial teaser for it, this seemed really cool to me. I was like, you know what? I'll try it out. I played the beta. It was kind of interesting. Adopt the game in its vanilla state. And it's like, damn, it has its issues, but I'm having a lot of fun with it all the same. Through all of the OG vanilla content of how exotics used to be quest based, and they were super, super rare bounties that would drop. Like fanatically so, where it was just most players had purples, if that. I remember the days when loot was just like, it wasn't fucking there at all. God. And seeing it through the first 2 expansions, doing the raids therein, was a magical experience. And I had a different group of people I played with at that point in time. But when King's Fall came, everything kind of changed. I'm trying to remember if my current clan, we met up through, was it Forsaken? Or if it was Rise of Iron. And then we carried over to D2. I don't remember. I know that most of us were still playing on 360 or Xbox One by the time of Iron because of, it was only the next gen consoles going forward. But I just fell head over heels in love with it. Like the overall lore that they created with the universe, they were drip feeding the story, but again, to create the kind of the mysticism of what's going to happen next, leaving people hanging on these cliffhangers, like little plot threads that didn't yet get resolved. And every little bit, I just really liked how they've created their world. The gunplay felt really good. Nothing else kind of scratched the same itch to it. And I just stuck through it. No matter how bad things got, I would put it down for a little bit every now and then, but never really stop playing the game. It was an amazing 11-year journey, and I don't regret a second of it, other than recognizing, I probably should have spent a little bit less time playing Destiny and playing other things or doing other things. But damn, that I have fun.
I feel that's a little bit, like, don't get me wrong, we could always sit there and go, hey, our time probably could have been utilized one way or another, but, like, I think it was Bife that referred to Destiny as a third space. For the longest time, that was a lot of folks' gaming home. It was definitely mine for fucking 11 years. Like, when I say there's no other game like that out there on the market, I mean it, right? Because it's not... It's like, I remember, even at its worst, I was sitting in a call with a bunch of other buds of mine, and me and one other bud in that call were Destiny players. I still was, they were formerly, because at that point they bounced out. It was shortly after Beyond Light dropped, and a lot of people were mad because of the sunsetting that happened in Beyond Light, which again, I blame that for a lot of the downfall of Destiny, but the topic for later. But no, like someone's like, I want a game that I could just play with the buds, hang out. They could be doing a content, and I could just doing content in it. I drop in, play with them, run for a little bit, drop out. We can pull in other people, and it's just easy drop in, drop out, stuff like that. And we could mindlessly be working on grinding something at all times. And the more they went into it, the more I'm like, you're just describing Destiny, and I want to recommend Destiny to you, and it's really hard to fucking recommend Destiny to buds at that current time. But at the end of the day, when the game fucking worked, there's nothing like it, right?
There truly was nothing, and every Destiny killer came and went. They couldn't capture that same magic.
Nope. And it's why, whenever folks tell me, just play Warframe, which, don't get me wrong, I've tried. Hold on, what's my fucking current hours in Warframe? And this is no hate against Warframe. I'm sitting at about, like, only 35 hours, which to some, that's not a lot. Because, yeah, again, it's a looter shooter, I get it. But, like, I've tried. It doesn't have that same je ne sais quoi that Destiny 2 has. At least for me.
It has its own feels to it. Warframe is one of those other games that is truly irreplaceable. It is a really fucking good game. It does take a ton of time to get into proper. It is, in some ways, it's very One Piece-esque of, trust me, dude, by like hour 300, you're really gonna see the vision. But it does, because the game is so depth, and a lot of it requires farming. Until it becomes second nature of, oh yeah, I just have to do this for a couple hours, or farm a couple days this week to get a new thing or what have you. Warframe is tremendous. It is a great stand-in. It cannot replace Destiny. It stands alongside and does things that Destiny doesn't, vice versa. Destiny does things that Warframe doesn't. And they complement each other perfectly.
Oh yeah, and I'm kind of glad that on, like, this Twilight 4 Destiny, that both Warframe fans have been gracious and not, at least from what I've seen, not being cunts about the death of the game. And as well, just the fact that the devs put in a homage to Destiny at the end of the day, and mentioned that they were glad to have their game run alongside Destiny and be compared all this time. It's touching. Alright. Chat, we have another ad break coming up. Up now, it started. I'm gonna put us on another Be Right Back to allow us to grab anything else and let that play out. We'll be back here in just a short moment with the last few questions of the night. But again, don't go anywhere, alright? Chat, I was gonna say something funny when I was coming back, so I reached into my mind and I was like, man, what's something funny I could say right now? And my mind, in the span of 5 seconds, just went, you should say that they just lost the game and make every millennial from the mid-2000s really fucking mad right now. Hey, Hulk, you just lost the game. Well, everyone, that's Fallen Confessions for tonight. I guess I, I should have seen that one coming. That one's on me. That one's on me. Hi, Hulky. Welcome back.
I had to find the room. I was considering blocking you on Discord.
Just fucking going the whole 9 yards of having me double check and be like, hey, did I actually upset Hulky with this one? Oh, they blocked me.
Oh no.
Oh no. I'm just saying right now, if I got blocked for telling someone that they lost the game, I would be the mix of the most distraught and the most powerful feeling I've ever felt in that exact moment.
I have won, but at what cost?
Exactly. Oh my gosh. I'm just diving back into it. Fuck. Alright, where are we?
Next question. Bird they.
Bird. How dare you correctly use my gender to refer to me as a bird? You know, I'll hit on that one then. So fear is a thing that all of us get. Anxiety, nervousness. We all do worry about things from time to time. The streamer space is no stranger to that. Every streamer I meet at one point or another has felt either a bit of imposter syndrome, a bit of worry with interacting with other folks within the content creator sphere. It's natural. So I do have to ask, as a content creator, streamer, what have you, what has made you feel the most anxious?
What has made me feel the most anxious? I think it's toss-up of one of two things. One is doing character acting. Any of the live plays I do, there's a level of nerves to making sure that I am not only putting on a good show as the characters that I'm portraying, but also standing toe-to-toe with other people with me. I am like constantly second-guessing myself against my peers. I'm like, oh man, these people are way fucking funnier than I am. And I know in my heart of hearts, sure, out of that headspace, I'm funny. I can put on a good show. I'm like, man, I wanna do this. But it can be hard going up against a show so you're like, damn, I feel like small potatoes going up against something like that. And that just like cultivates so much fear in me of, am I really like cut out for something like this?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I really meant to be doing something like this? And this is not like a prompting of like, no, totally, you are meant to do something like this. No, I'm just saying like that's what the kind of fear creeps in. It's hard to not compare yourself to people who are in your own mind better than you or larger than you.
Mm-hmm.
To worry, are you able and capable of making those standing toe-to-toe with somebody like that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the simple reality is other people put you on that same pedestal and believe that you are at that level already. It is the healthier option to double back, stare yourself in the mirror and say, no, I am this, but I'm going to be better than that too. And keep pushing yourself to keep getting better. If you feel like you're lacking, to push yourself towards improvement and to just want to keep working on yourself. Not to out of sense of ego, but like the justification that you can be anybody else. You can stand astride with Titans if you're willing to put in the work and to find out what you need yourself. Sure, I mean, there's always like the take the easy route of do things methodically.
Mm-hmm.
But the real thing is, what do you want? What do you ultimately want out of something to put yourself back there? And in doing that, and in those same thoughts, it's kind of quashed down those same fears. They still come back to life every single time I do a new show like that, but it's still quashed by the you've gotten this far, you can keep going.
Mm-hmm.
The other fear is one that I've not yet realized I'm still scared to fucking death of, is the eventual karaoke stream that I have to do. I'm still afraid of singing in person. As much as I love singing and I love doing it, I think I do it pretty decently, but it's still if I beef this, I'm fucked. It's going to be so devastating to me emotionally if I can't actually sing.
On the mention of the karaoke, as someone who considers themselves to be the most tone-deaf person on the planet, my karaoke stream didn't kill my channel. I believe in you, Hulky. But it's as well. No, it is terrifying because it's. I think singing is such a intrinsically human thing. It's the oldest instrument known to man, right? Outside of maybe the drum. And it's also one that I feel outside of like folks that really, really get into music, for folks that just have a casual, I enjoy listening to music sort of level to it, it's the most important instrument. A lot of people, again, look at how many bands, where the singer is the person that everybody focuses on, right? Or, America's, American Idol. Folks really love to look at the good singers, but folks also really love to sit there and bully and fucking point at those that were bad. I still hear people talking about Sanjaya from, like, the 2007 season of American Idol. So, like, it's terrifying to look yourself out like that. Because you don't want that following you,
Yep.
But, I don't know. In my opinion, you probably got this.
I appreciate your vote of confidence.
Well, thank you. I do, on the topic of kind of this whole, like, I don't want to necessarily just throw the term imposter syndrome, because that's not quite right, but the fear of comparison. When was, like, the first time you really kind of encountered that? And what did you do to help yourself get over it, if you did ever get over it?
You said the fear of comparison?
Fear of comparison. Like, you're with another big streamer or content creator doing a project with them, and you're like, holy shit, do I deserve to be on the stage or be compared to this person or this, that, whatnot? Like that.
Probably back when we started doing Warhams years and years ago.
Really?
Yeah. Because that was with people who I'd worked with them already.
Mm-hmm.
But getting to work in real time of actual character acting with three people who I'd looked up to for quite some time, it was intimidating of like, am I going to be able to perform appropriately? Am I going to be able to meet the same level that these three amazing VAs and character actors are going to be able to perform at? And I kind of got over that in the way of just seeing the overall response to it, of people just enjoying it, because it wasn't a unified, like, it wasn't one person's show. It was everybody working together and seeing the response to the whole body of the work.
Mm-hmm.
It's seeing the difference that you still make of it. You don't have to be this person who's just a breakout instant, like, yeah, you're blowing up everywhere and you're the one they talk about. It's nice, but seeing the difference that you make and I remember this back when I was doing that first live show where I know I specifically got a couple different messages. I think other people did as well. I'm certain everybody got something to the effect of, I just want to say, like, you do a fantastic job on this show, and I want to thank you for helping me laugh and smile through a really tough time. Because a lot of the broadcasting happened through COVID as well. well beyond the initial pandemic into the covalent years of just like, recovering and where do we go from here. Just seeing the difference that one person can make and bringing smiles but also hope to the world felt really good, and I knew that I can do this and I deserve to do something like this, and I know that I can. And it's what kept me going, and it kept motivating me to go further and further. And then getting exposed to more and more people who kind of saw that same spark in me too and promoted that, of just promoting the idea that you can do this. I see this in you. You are funny. Help kind of get over the anti-ego that I had of myself. Horribly like self-critical. I still am. But especially like through Zora and Speaker and Erndale, but then later on getting to interact with people like Min as well. I still say that she is one of the biggest influences, and I've said this time and again, and I'll never stop glazing her for what it's deserved, how influential she was of pushing me to go beyond and break out of my comfort zone to include me on stuff that she did, and ultimately pushing me to start striking out and trying streaming on my own and finding success therein. Of clearly people do want to watch it, starting out small and then watching it grow further and further and taking it up to now. I'm nothing without to make the long answer short, it's the people around you, whether that's the people you perform with, who give you their honest thoughts and do not just glaze you, and the people who you do it for, that reaffirm the you deserve to do this and the praise that you get. You deserve to be here too, and this is your space too. I'm nothing without the people who've been at my back from the very start.
No, fucking...
So if you ever feel like, I don't know, like you doubt yourself too, just don't forget the difference that you make in even one person's life. And there's no reason you can't go after and continue doing exactly what you want. And never stop, as long as you're just after something at the end.
Trust me when I say I fully, like... I can't stress enough, and, like, I know you agree with me on this. Whenever I'm, like, wrapping up stream or something like that, or, like, hell, even Shrouded over there with saying, you know, this has been great to listen to. Hearing that feedback from your viewers, whether it's one person saying it or 100, I don't think it ever... hell, even if, especially if it's one person, that has never gotten tiring to me. In the almost now half a decade that I've been doing this, it's... Don't get me wrong, all entertainers... I do believe in the phrase that all entertainers, to a small extent, have a little bit of narcissism to them, but, like, it's...
Yeah.
Some of them... There's a healthy amount of that, and I feel, especially with some of my favorite content creators I both watched growing up, but also I've gotten to interact with, all of them share the same feeling of that they do this because they also do love seeing the joy that it does bring people. And whether it's getting to hear from their peers about how funny they are, or getting to just see the reflection in folks' lives. Because again, you never, especially when it comes to lurkers, which shout out to lurkers here, but like, you never know who's watching you at the end of a very rough day, and you're just the thing that helps keep them grounded. You know? No,
yeah.
So I fully get you on that one. It's powerful. It's very, very fucking powerful.
1,000%.
Shit. I'm gonna use this as kind of a shift point into, a question I had to you, had about you as a voice actor, because I feel like this will stay in the same general realm of talking. So I'm gonna ask that question, but then loop it back into content creation. So, as a voice actor, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, and as far as I've noticed with a bunch of my buds that have gotten into voice acting, part of the reason they've gotten into it, much like with any other acting, is because they have seen either something behind the scenes or they had one performer that they saw that kind of got them into it and stuff like that. And voice actors think about voices a lot. So I have to ask, as far as you being a voice actor, who is your vocal crush? Like, whose voice is one that you wish you could rip the fucking voice box out of and either install it in yourself or just have it on hand whenever you want to hear that voice? Like, who is your vocal crush?
Ooh. So I would say I would never want to have anybody else's voice but mine.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of that is like, yeah, we look up to people and would love to achieve something that like a quality certain people have. Like, good example. I love John DiMaggio. I love his character acting and the versatility that he does. I can still tell it's John DiMaggio, but there's a few roles where he definitely gets lost in, oh shit, that's him. Which is why I love in specific of like, I just didn't realize it was him. Same thing with like Steve Bloom, where it's the kind of gravel and it's the husky nature to the voice that I love. And I love hearing that in their character acting. And I would love to be able to achieve things like that. And listening to them also helps guide me in terms of how can I play with my voice and either capture like a gravelly effect or something deep and resonant. And it's what inspires me to try like doing something different. I think two of them are very good examples. Because again, like I don't want to have their voice, but I want to be inspired and use that to help me play around with my range and different characters. As far as like just overall people who I love as well, and who are just in that kind of I will listen to it no matter what. My boy Robin Atkin Downes, I love him. Robin Atkin Downes is just a lovely person. I love the characters that he plays. Very much somebody who inspired me from a young age to start picking around with voice acting through certain characters. Him and D. Bradley Baker and Nolan North. Specifically, I think I can recall where I really started messing around with voice acting was trying to do an impression of Richtofen from Zombies.
Really?
Way, yeah, back in like Black Ops and World at War era. I remember trying, the way I got started was doing impressions. Whether that was him, whether that was, and Fred Tatasciore as well.
What's he from? That's a name I don't recognize off the top of my head.
Fred Tatasciore has been in fucking everything, but you might recognize him as Nikolai Belinsky. He was a lot of character acting. He was Soldier 76. He was he did a lot of the Foley for the Great Unclean One in Dawn of War. He also he's Xur in Destiny. Fred's been in a lot of things.
Huh.
I could pull up his IMDb. He's a very prolific voice actor.
Yeah, I pulled it up on the side right now and I'm seeing like he was in Ben 10, Manish Man in Adventure Time. Holy shit.
I'm trying to pick just one that's a good example. Who would be the best one? And also, I mean, certain impressions, or not impressions, like sound-alikes for a bunch of other characters too. He does such a fucking good job. He is just a really, really good voice actor. Again, also somebody who, from what I've heard of him, is just kind of whimsical. He just likes having a good time. He's just out there, living his best life.
He was Jack Brown in Mouse P.I.?
Yes.
Oh, fuck yeah. Noted. Alright, I'm gonna have to fucking... God, I feel a little bad because my one nerd, like, bit that I don't pay attention to as much, and I really should because we give credit to actors, we should give just as much credit to voice actors, because the amount of work that y'all have to fucking put through to really bring these characters to life is nothing short of... This is not me just glazing because I have a voice actor here. Literally, it's nothing short of a fucking work of art for you guys to do that. Holy shit, that's neat. Sorry, as you were, though, with, other voice actors that you fucking were inspired by.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of, and sure, a lot of other people as well. In terms of a newer, inspiration in the sense of, I love what he has done and I'm so happy for him. And it's something that inspires me to keep on doing more. Genuinely, Johnny. Johnny is just a really stand-up person. Went from doing just funny voices and like shit posts and is now just doing everything. And a fantastic voice actor in their own right.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's very much a just a motivator of Johnny can do it. Keep going. Don't lose faith in yourself. And it's what pushes me to keep doing more and more. Now, of course, my greatest weakness is getting out there and doing more auditions, but it helps temper everybody has their own trajectory, and Gianni's is one that is just inspiring in and of itself. He's a pretty cool person. I've never interacted with him directly.
I want to one day. That is a big dream of mine.
I'm like 1 degree removed from him because he's done stuff for Ogre Popenang. He's friends with Treen as well. So like, I don't know him, but the degree of separation is few and far between. It's just funny like that.
I mean, we're, at most 7 degrees of separation from literally anyone on the planet. It's a small world. God.
I love clocking voice actors, says Rabbit. Same. Whether it's my friends, other people, or especially like Luma or Luppy as well, I'll stop dead in the middle of something. It's like, wait a second, that's so and so. I get so excited when I hear a voice actor that I know.
God, that's funny.
Go
ahead.
Like the only other point to be made of funny because I read the one question that you asked of what is your vocal crush, like gush to hear and listen to? There's 2 other ones, not because I can do anything as far as their own their voices, but the 2 that I love to hear in anything they make my heart sing whenever I hear them is Kristen Schaal and Sarah Williams. I adore them because every time they voice a character, I love that character. It happens to have something in my brain of I like this character. I like them. I love what they do. It makes me giddy. So, overwhelmingly so. I just clap my hands and tap my feet.
So, I know Sarah Williams. Kristen Schaal, what has she been in?
She is an actress as well as voice actress. Kristen Schaal is in a number of things. You might know her immediately if I say she's Louise Belcher in Bob's Burgers.
I have not watched Bob's Burgers.
Really? It's fun.
Nope.
It's a fun series. Let me try and pull up some of her other ones. I'm blanking on some of the other roles that I know her from. Where I knew her before Bob's Burgers. I was just surprised to see her there. She's Mabel in Gravity Falls. She's in What We Do in the Shadows as the guide. She's Mel in Flight of the Conchords. Oh yeah, I forgot she's also in Toy Story. She plays Trixie.
All right, we finally found a role that I want because I'm about to say something. I've never watched Gravity Falls. I've only ever seen a singular episode. That's about it.
I'm trying to see what else that I can say that you might know her from. Let's see. She was a bunch of different voices in Xavier Renegade Angels. She was in Aqua Teen for one episode. She was in Modern Family. She's been in a ton of things.
Cosmic, I'm sorry to break your heart. I've never watched BoJack Horseman. I've had everyone and their mom tell me I need to watch BoJack Horseman. Have never watched it. God. Bean, don't look at me like that. Don't what the fuck me. We sat through 4 seasons of The Good Place. We'll sit through BoJack Horseman at some point. God. So,
but I enjoy her characters. I enjoy her characters and her delivery very much.
Gotcha. So I kind of to poke a little bit more at the whole voice acting side. Obviously, like, a bunch of these folks were inspirations for you to want to get into it, or keep doing it, or to keep doing it better. But, like, besides just the whole hearing these different inspirations, what kind of was that final thing to push you into want to actually, like, start pursuing voice acting?
TTS.
Really?
Yep. Because I started engaging back in the days, the Alpha Legion, with their community, doing a bunch of things. Mostly a bunch of orc impressions. Get real down there with your jaw out. Proper oaky and green like. But that kind of pushed me into doing a bunch of stuff and making like little memes, making hee hoo hoos in voice calls back, because that was back in like the TeamSpeak era.
Holy shit,
doing a bunch of that. And wanting to do more of that, but also seeing how much fun they had doing things like TTS, where maybe want to try my hand at doing something like that too, thinking, oh, I would love to perform for something like this. And I don't know, I love to do an orc voice. Now, ironically, it's the one thing I don't think I ended up doing was orc voices for them. But that kind of pushed me into wanting to do more and more, eventually getting noticed, and then taking that into some actual voices for the show. And to this day, among my greatest shames is the one, like the first role I had that they put together. I didn't realize I was recording not on my Yeti at the time, which would have been a better quality, but a shitty fucking Skype VoIP headset that I had instead of the actual mic that could have gotten good quality. And everything after that was like decent or pretty good at best. But I'm like, oh my god, oh no. And they didn't say anything until it was actually already produced. So I was like, fuck.
Oh no. That surprised me that it got that far down it got all the way through the pipeline and no one said anything. Yeah. Were they just trying to be nice, or was it a case of, fuck it, good enough?
I genuinely don't know. I don't know.
Oh, shit. But no, it kind of makes sense that TTS was kind of the introductory for it, and again, I know not many folks within the actual, like, Alpha Legion community. I did watch the show when it was coming out, because, what 40k fan fucking didn't, at that time? But, like, that was a project that looked like it was a fucking fun time to be a part of, because it's just a bunch of, lovingly, a bunch of idiots all just making dumb bullshit together and having the most fun with it.
I would be inclined to agree, even if I was very much on the outside for a lot of it, just because I only had minor voices up until things like, till Bro Trip started coming out, when I did a read for and got cast for Shrike.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my experience with a lot of the people getting the chance to interact with them, is very much that, is they are just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And they still do. Very much they have fun with what they do.
Mm-hmm. That's fucking great. And I'm kind of glad that you seem to stick with voice acting even after, Games Workshop the fuck out of that project. But, like, and I'm glad to see that you're still sticking through with it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't think I could turn back at this point, because it's really fulfilling. I love doing it. and I'm happy that I'm here. I just got to keep going further.
I do have to ask it. I'm going to ask this question for two different sides. As far as voice acting goes, like, obviously, when it comes to literally anything, at some point, folks keep doing it or don't keep doing it, stuff like that, but everyone has kind of, like, these goals they want to hit with it. What would you say would be, like, the biggest dream, like, end goal for you as a voice actor, and then as a content creator, whether it's the same thing or something different, what would be a big, like, dream goal for you to accomplish as a content creator?
There's a couple different answers that I could give you. For voice acting, I would love to get cast in a series that I resonate with personally, so that I could actually like lend my voice to something that inspired me and use that to captivate other people and inspire them to do the same thing. I mean, personally, I would love to be able to voice act a major character in like an adaptation of JoJo. I would love to be able to be part of like part 7 onwards. But the simple reality is that I would need to do a lot more to get there. And it's not impossible, but God, I would love to be part of that. That or like One Piece at this point. I really fucking
Hell yeah.
That, and originally it was I would love to voice act a major character in Destiny, and now that's not fucking happening. So
but you know what? For D3. We can cope for D3.
We can. I will say though, the other one that I would like to do something for that is possible, because they're super cool. You know, Mrs. Ford, you can hit me up anytime you want. I'm not union, which means I can do jobs pretty good for the only one job though, because once you do something for SAG, that's SAG affiliated, you have to sign to your union. I'd love to voice act for Warframe. I'd love to do that. I'd love to do like audition for something like that. As a content creator, that's a little bit different because it's not strictly voice acting, even if it is very much a part of it. I want to keep going further. I want to be able to look back to something like now and say, this is what I said I was going to do and I did it. I really want to continue doing more with the idea of sharing the world with everybody else, helping everybody grow a little bit more rich knowledge-wise every single day, and use that to like bring smiles to other people, share with them so much and inspire them to get out there, not only to see the world and experience all there is, to let go of so much fear that there is, but also to, to give back in a lot of different ways, to be able to return that same kind of joy and bring that happiness to more and more people. I want to leave the world a better place. At the end of the day, God willing, it's a end on my own terms, but when my time should come, and may it never come, may I live past the end of my myth always, to leave the world in a better place than I entered. And continue cultivating that legacy of positivity. I want to be able to get out there and one of my big streams for the next year is to get a mobile setup where I can start traveling around, doing on location stuff, showing people how much there is out there and getting them to explore the world around them as well. And selfishly, I would love to host a panel or be a guest at a con. That's a small one that I think is within reach. But I would love to be able to do something like that. I'm hoping that whether that's with Nairdeck or a couple different people, that I get to host a live show of something like that, where I can put that on. People can, I don't know, something fun. The anxiety is overwhelming of something like that at the prospect. But to host a live broadcast and see that in person, it would be beautiful. I want to have someone come up to me hey, I know you! Dude, can you sign something? Or I feel bad kind of approaching. He's no, it's okay. You're respectful about it. Just talk to me. It's all good.
Literally one of the most heartbreaking moments I had was someone in my chat mentioning, oh yeah, I saw you walking around your cosplay at PAX East. I want to come up and say hi, but I didn't want to bother you. And I'm no, you should have. Please. Like,
oh my, yes, 1,000%.
I feel you on that whole convention thing, because, like, getting to do collaboration works with folks is really neat, and obviously audience reaction is really neat. So when you're getting to host a panel, hopefully with some of your dopest fucking buds in person, getting to hear that reaction and see it viscerally within the crowd. Holy shit.
Yep.
Hi, Raina! Jesus Christ, scare the fuck out of me! Ha!
Sorry to put the lid back on my Titan.
Oh my gosh, welcome on in, narrators. Welcome on in. Hi, Catton. Welcome on in. For those of you joining us for the first time, my name is Varandel Voidstar, Fallen Angel Thrones, a variety VTuber, and I'm joined tonight by the one, the only, the lovely Hulky Crow.
I'm red!
Fucking more raiders! Holy shit! Hi, everybody! How we doing?
They really like you, V.
What am I'm just... Why? Hi, raiders! Welcome on in! I'm Varandel, a Fallen Angel Thrones and variety VTuber. I'm joined by Hulky Crow tonight.
I'm still red! Oh, so red.
Oh, I'm so red. Quit blowing holes in the church. I'm not unionized. Satirical, you're never gonna be unionized. But no, welcome on in, narrators. Welcome on in. Tonight, I'm hosting my VTuber confessional booth, a little segment I call Fallen Confessions, where I yank in another content creator and ask them a few different questions that they have to confess to. And obviously, as I mentioned tonight, my guest is Hulky Crow. But hi, Raina. Hi, Thanato. How are both of you? How is stream? If both you two obviously need to raid and run as well, please do feel free to do so. I'd poke a little bit more to ask you both about your streams, but I do kind of want to get back to asking my guests for the night the questions and everything like that. Yeah, so I do thank you guys for sharing your community with me, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. It was good, don't worry, don't worry. Good! Good, it better be good. Alright. What were you saying before I fucking, everyone kicked down the walls of my church?
I don't know.
Segue time for new question. Actually.
Oh wait, I remember now.
Go ahead.
People saw you at a convention and said they saw you and didn't come up to you.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. But I am going to use this as a segue because it's perfect, because I do have a question that ties into all this. Speaking of you wanting to host a panel and wanting to do convention shit, obviously that means that you're someone that's gone to conventions. So based on what I've seen about you going to MagFest, and we're supposed to go to TennoCon, I believe?
Yeah, I ended up not going because I didn't want to risk catching con crud before I fly out for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, valid. Fuck con crud, holy shit. But conventions are a fun time. Conventions are a great time. And sometimes you have great memories, and sometimes, due to the natures of cons being social events, you have awkward memories, awkward things that happen. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done, or the most embarrassing you've ever felt at a convention?
Oh, that's a good one. Coincidentally, the most embarrassed I have felt, because I've not gone to a ton of cons, but it definitely was when I met Steve Bloom. I met him at Colossal Con years ago. And I, went up, took a picture with him, signed autographs and so on and so forth. But I remember telling him, I could barely contain my excitement, how much like he inspired me and inspired me to be a voice actor. And then I asked him if he remembered, and a lot of times people don't, after doing it as long as he has and as many roles as he's done, remembered doing Sindri Mir in Dawn of War.
Mm-hmm.
But how much his voice acting inspired a lot of in-jokes, but also a bunch of people I knew to do their own things, which in turn inspired me to be a voice actor. And I couldn't really get that out. So it was probably all like slurred speech, made all the excitement of it all. I just remember like him smiling very politely through that and getting a picture thereafter of I think I still have it of him like sort of hover handing me. Oh, I completely I spilled all of my fucking spaghetti because I was still younger at that point in time. I was just barely into college, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I still it haunts me. It's like I could have done that better.
Christ, the hover hand. Yeah, Reina.
To be fair, I probably was also sweaty as fuck because it's Colossal Con East, so it's in the dead of summer.
Where is Colossal Con hosted?
There's a couple of them. East is at the Kalahari in Ohio.
Alright. I don't think I've ever been to that convention center before.
It's a resort. It's an inland water park resort and also wildlife preserve. It's the swimsuit convention.
Oh. Gotcha.
That was also, I think, the first time I ever did proper cosplay, because I did a pool party Tachanka from Siege.
Hell yeah.
And I think my buddy did a pool party Legion.
God.
It was a cool
I've
combo.
only Hell yeah. I've only recently gotten into cosplay, so I'm still trying to understand It's weird. When you've never cosplayed, your view on what cosplay is very different than, at least for me, is very different than after you've cosplayed and you realize, oh no, it's just people it's like Halloween, but without the Halloween. It's folks just dressing up and being silly. But no, fucking... God... That much spaghetti in front of Steve Bloom. My condolences.
Yeah. Yeah.
Knock on wood. I have never dropped my spaghetti in front of someone at a convention yet. I'm still fearing for the day. But, like... Mainly because I'm too busy to, run up and actually take the time to do meet and greets. But I don't think I've ever had yet. The closest I ever did was, I think Randy Pitchford before we realized he was a terrible person. Because I did meet him once. Yeah, I know.
That's fair.
Back when Borderlands 2 was still new, and you're like, oh, the Borderlands guy! And you point at him.
Yeah.
God. So, I do have to ask, because you've gone to a few conventions, what was your first?
My first? Let me think. What was my first proper convention? It either was the No, because that was after, I think. I think Colossal Con was my first proper convention experience.
Really?
Because I never really was a con goer before that. I didn't really get it. It was too many people. I kind of didn't have any interest in it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was really my first experience with it. Now, my first time really loving a con, I thought it was TwitchCon initially. And for all the people I got to meet and the experience I had with that, amazing. However, I am here just for the sheer fun of everything and not strictly business, MagFest. Fucking MagFest is awesome. I will go to that con every single year now. It was that good of an experience.
I'm so fucking pissed I didn't go. Because I got invited by a bud to go to it, and I'm like, I just got out of PAX East. I'm still saving up money. And from everyone from MagFest of this last MagFest has told me it's been nothing but stellar.
I don't mean to rub salt in the wound, but
go ahead, do
really fucking missed out. That was the best concert experience I've ever had. Seeing the Proto Men live, all 3 acts, debut of Act 3 live, was fucking awesome, dude. I huge shout out to fucking Veg. I love that man. I couldn't ask for a better concert, bud.
Hell yeah. Thankfully, I can sit there and say that I've gotten to see the Proto Man live, because they came to PAX East, a decade ago. And unironically is probably one of the 2 best performances I've ever seen out of PAX. I'm not gonna lie, if I knew they were at MagFest, I would have gone, because I would love to see them again.
2028. They do it every 2 years.
Yeah, I might end up going.
I'm gonna go back next year. I'm gonna go there. I'm trying to encourage as many people as I know. Like, hey, come to MagFest. Come see me. I'll take you out to like the Bay Area of like DC, like the DMV. We'll go get fucking ube chicken and waffles at this really cool Filipino restaurant out in the Heights. It's really good. I'll show you these places that I know a little bit more about because I've spent a lot of time down there now.
Hell yeah. No, listen, I get it. I'm the same way for PAX, and I'll take you up on that offer if I do go to MagFest, which, given how PAX has been these last few years, I might actually do MagFest instead of PAX East this next year, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I might DC, yeah, no, it's... How do I describe this nicely about my favorite convention? It's been sucking ass lately. Like, it's still fun. I still have a fun time. But, like, the problem was, it was a extremely massive convention beforehand, and they operated under the assumption they'd still be massive entirely. And then, between COVID and all big game companies deciding they don't want to go out and do conventions anymore, like shit like E3 that they pulled out of, they've also been pulling out of PAX. We have not had Sony and Microsoft there since 2018. So, like, it's trying to operate at giant convention level while not having giant convention planning or draw, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So,
I get you.
I mean, I still got to meet some neat folks at this last one, because I got to meet up with Zungi, I got to meet up with my bud Captain Fluffs, I got to meet up with quite a few different good beans.
Nice.
But yeah. So, dipping back over to MagFest, though. So, as far as MagFest goes, what would you describe the kind of vibe that it has? Because every convention does have its own little different vibes. Some are more social meetings, some are more just, I don't want to say business, but attraction focused. What would you kind of pin the vibe of MagFest as?
Everybody is a massive fucking nerd. There is, if you have any compunctions about being judged for being a nerd or a geek or a dweeb of any kind, everybody there is like you.
Mm-hmm.
They're all different cuts of the same cloth of they're there to enjoy fandom in all forms. Lots of classic games, just fandom for the sake of fandom. All different walks of life, whether that's anime fans, animation, film, video games, tabletop RPGs. They just enjoy being there. And it's just fun. It's just good vibes.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of like yeah, like if Offkai or TwitchCon is the business convention for streamers or VTubers, Mag is the we're going here. We're not going here to conduct business. We're here to have just a good time and party and just enjoy yourself.
So I know you did do TwitchCon. I believe you've done TwitchCon before, if I recall.
I have. I did it last year.
Was that... Did you also do Offkai?
No, I didn't do it last year. This will be my first Offkai coming up.
Alright. Well, in that case, I'll ask you for TwitchCon. Is it, like, as awful as people made it out to be? Or, like, what would you say was your kind of, like, thoughts on the experience of it? Because every person I've asked... I've had so many people try to drag me out to TwitchCon, but I've never fucking gone, because every time I'm like, man, I've heard it's a terrible experience, and obviously we've heard all about the security scandals, and we don't need to retread that. We're not gonna add anything to that conversation, but, like, just the experience of TwitchCon itself outside of that security worry, was it good, or, like, was it I don't want to say not worth it, but just not as fun, I would say.
So the way I would liken it is TwitchCon is very much in vibes, for a lot of it, what you would expect of a trade show. It is there. I mean, the first floor is business. It is there for streamers and fans alike. But the first floor and a lot of it is like networking with people who are trying to put themselves out there, because people who can advertise product, connect with that to find new partners, tie-ins with existing brands, or bring awareness, because they have a huge section of like charity and so on and so forth. It was very cool. I think it got a little too big at certain things, and there were certain tie-ins that kind of fell a little bit flat. I think the big one, and certainly people are flexing their chops in all different facets of broadcasting. Certain things fell flat, especially in the wake of bigger sponsors being like, oh yeah, we used a lot of AI in what we did, and that drove a lot of engagement and enjoyment with certain things down. Fragpunk being a big one of that. I still have all of my fucking swag that I got from them from like free that is just sat in my spare bedroom. Like, what the fuck do I do with this? I don't want any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just been like, can I give this away? I don't want to throw it away because it'd be wasteful, but like, fuck, I don't want any of this shit. It was just cool because like I like the thrust of it. It seemed pretty cool, but like, I don't want to engage with this and support people who do that. Same thing with Arc Raiders. But the overall atmosphere, barring of course the things people do know about with the issues of they would have to really step up their game for taking care of their talent. Also, you know, throwing out everybody's fucking things and gifts they left for fans. Same thing, same vein of taking care of talent. They need to do a lot more for that. A lot of the fun for TwitchCon, other than things like the Artist Alley and certain panels that were hosted, most of it was outside of the con. My biggest memories are the stuff that I did beyond the confines of what was in Twitch. There was a masquerade party that I went to. There was, I think, another different function. I think I didn't end up going to the one party that was hosted that everyone's like, this is really badly run. Way too many people sneaking in. They still weren't giving out drink covers. And then it just ended up like being a small party of a bunch of different people who were like, oh yeah, I'll tell two friends. Where a bunch of us like VTubers just kind of got together at a local bar. We just kind of shot the shit, had drinks, had some snacks, and just had a good time. We enjoyed it. It was safer that way. And I think overall the atmosphere just kind of was trade show that wanted to be something more, and it felt kind of flat. Overall vibes, fun. Would I go again? Yeah, but I'm not gonna go. It sucks because of course I hit partner this year, so I'm like, I should go. But it's the week before fucking Thanksgiving, dude. No one's gonna want to travel for that. It's the busiest travel season of the. Yes, it's the week before fucking Thanksgiving. No one wants to travel during that time. It's the busiest travel time in the entire United States for airfare. God. No one wants to fucking do that. We're going to see if Offkai can compare. And if it is a similar experience, if it is better or worse remains to be seen. I will remain cautiously optimistic and will be looking forward to seeing a lot of people over at Offkai. And I will hope that it is a good time. However, if it makes for a similar experience, then come next year, it's just going to be I'll see what happens at TwitchCon this year and make my decision if I want to visit either next year. I probably will because, I'll be honest, I love the West Coast. I love California. But I'll see. I'll hold my judgment until I'm actually there and I can tell you more about it. I'll be taking pictures, I'll be taking videos, and doing what I can to do my due diligence.
No, I feel you on that, because, like, the only drive I have to go out to the West Coast to go to either one of those two. Don't get me wrong, I like California for the, 4 days I got to visit it. But, it'd be to get to bump into my buds and hang out with them. Yeah. Because I've heard, besides a bunch of people be like, yeah, I went to Offkai and I met so-and-so person. I didn't really hear much about the convention itself, and obviously TwitchCon's TwitchCon, so... But I want to hear more good things about it. I'll be definitely poking you about your experience with it.
Oh, totally. I'll gladly tell you. I'll do it with you and everybody else.
Please do. Keep me posted. I do have... Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was going to say, like, I heard the same thing about Offkai last year, too. And that's kind of coloring my expectations of who's going there for what. I'm going there to see my buds, to network with other people. Same thing that I went to do at TwitchCon, is I'm there to do business, and I'm seeing my friends. So it's an excuse to get everybody in one place where I'm otherwise probably not going to see them.
Mm-hmm. Convention time tends to be not just, oh, hey, let's go to a convention, but just, oh, hey, here's, like, one of the guaranteed moments that I'll definitely get to see so-and-so like, for a while, convention time for me, it was getting to meet my brother-in-law. Because that's normally when we'd meet up, would be for conventions.
Yeah.
God. Before he became my brother-in-law, mind you. Obviously, after he became my
brother-in-law,
we kind of started hanging out more for very obvious reasons.
Fair.
But yeah. I am curious as to how one convention will go, because we do have a VTuber convention trying to formulate on the East Coast, funny enough, in Massachusetts, but, and I'm gonna brush this topic lightly, because I don't feel like kicking up drama where it's not my fucking business, but, there have been... Because this is their first time doing the convention, there have been some security concerns from certain folks in the VTuber community about it. I can say the name. I'm not gonna act like it's a witch hunt. It's named Anki. And I'm curious as to see how it'll go, because this is their first time running it, and from what I know, the staff that's running it are very new to running conventions. So I want to hope it does well. Because I know a few buds that are going to that one, but I'm not super optimistic. I hope it does well.
Optimism is good.
Yeah. Alright. We're getting down to the wire. We're almost out of time here, Hulky. We've been live for a while. So... As always, we're gonna get onto the tradition of the last question. So before I do that, congratulations, at least within the eyes of the hallowed, within my church, you are, free of any sin within my cult, and welcome to sign up. Free pamphlet and robe are on the door on your left. But...
Well, thank you for inviting me. I will consider the robes.
They are very nice robes. I grew the fleece myself. Not on me, on my sheep.
Okay, I was gonna get real worried there for a second.
I'm a pair of rings. I don't have wool. But, as always, after putting you on the hot seat for the last, 3 hours, I like to turn it around to my guests and have them throw me into the hot seat. What is something you want me to confess?
You've probably gotten this question a bunch of times, but because I don't know the answer to it, life in all of its infinite complexities guides us down routes unseen and often unplanned, where we may think we're going one day, maybe somewhere wildly different the next, or even somewhere completely different in the moment. Oftentimes, it behooves us to embrace those changes as they come, but that doesn't stop us from still planning, from wanting, from dreaming. I'm a fan of the phrase, other than do they make it nasty, tomorrow begins today. My question to you, it doesn't have to be streaming, it doesn't have to be specifically a real life thing. What is the goal that you are striving for? What is something that either you are so desperately clawing towards, something that burns a hole in your very being, knowing that it is not yet realized that you are either working towards it or that you haven't yet taken the step
to start on that path. What is the fire that you cradle in your hands and have not yet let blaze or burn you?
I'm gonna give probably one of the most generic answers to that, but it's kind of also true. To leave a story and a memory that folks want to talk about. Cause at the end of the day, like, obviously we all want to leave, well, most folks want to leave their mark on the world in one way or another, and most folks want to be remembered. But, there's that old phrase that you die 2 times. Once when you pass, and the other time is when the last person speaks your name. And don't get me wrong, leaving a big legacy that allows folks to sit there and talk about that forever, is important. But that, it's not the length that matters, it's the quality of the story that's told behind. Ideally I'd want a story that's told forever, but more important to me, I'd want a story that folks look back on and smile at. I want something that, it's like how, you touched upon earlier with, content creation and just being that spark of joy for someone and that inspires someone. I want, and just, putting back in, into the world more than you took out, I want to leave a story that people will sit with long after I'm gone, that in some way, shape, or form inspires and helps them to figure out their own path, to push forward, or at the very fucking least, make them feel content in retreading that story over and over and over again. So that's what I hope I can leave the world. I don't feel I've really started walking down the path for that. I'm don't get me wrong, I'm doing things that more than likely when I am at the end of my road, I can look back on and be like, those are factors that contribute to it. But like, it is something that's always in the forefront of my mind of just, how do I act in public? Why do I act in public? Why do I act this way around this one person or this way around this other person? And ultimately, it's kind of led me to trying to be as earnest as I can with everybody, because I want them all to share that same loved story. It's why I think the admittedly scariest thing for me socially is being written off. Because I would hate for someone to ignore. Obviously, I can't tell people to like me, but I'd want to be able to bring that person joy, and I'd hate for them to write me off and not allow me the grace to bring them that joy.
I do.
But that,
I think you are well on your way to achieving that goal.
I appreciate it.
Something that I know exactly what you do, and I live that every single day, so I can tell you you're on the right path.
Thank you. I sure hope so. It's terrifying. It is, but you can't let. One of the biggest fears I've had to overcome, at least on working that path, to kind of combat my fear of being written off, is the fear of appeasing everybody. And ultimately, I know if I try to appease everybody, I'll appease nobody. So it's trying to find that balance of being the best friend, the best entertainer, the best whatever I can be while still being myself. So, and I'm taking better steps towards that, so, and I appreciate that. You think I am walking down that path? Ugh. Gosh. Alrighty, I'm blushing. I'm gonna... It's getting hot in here. I'm gonna wrap shit up.
Oh, really? It's starting
Hulky.
to cool off. No, we can keep talking. It's fine.
I blow you up with mind lasers.
Okay.
Yeah, I deserve that.
But no, on that note, I think we're good for now. I think I can raid y'all on out. I'm gonna wrap up for tonight. But Hulky, I do thank you for coming to join us tonight. Seriously, I can't stress this enough. You're a fucking amazing guest. Holy shit.
Well, you were an amazing host, and thank you very much for having me, V. I appreciate it.
No problem. We need to hang out more. I'm gonna shake you to do that more.
Absolutely.
But, well, I am finding someone to go and throw y'all on out to. Hulky, do you mind telling the folks, and mods, give me a shout out for Hulky as well, even though there's buttons to find Hulky everywhere. Chat, if you're not following Hulky, please do so. But, Hulky, do you mind telling me what you got coming up for the rest of the week?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, because it's exactly one other thing. Theoretically, depending if I cancel it or not, I'm going to be playing a bit of Darktide tomorrow evening around 7 Eastern. I'll be playing that with Hora, Cav, and Zoran. Actually, I gotta go make the thumbnail after we're done today. But I'll be playing that for a couple hours. I'm gonna finally get into the Skitarii DLC so I can really get my hands on the only class I really want to play outside of the Honorable Chairman.
Mm-hmm.
Play that for a couple hours, wrap it up, finish packing, and then go to the airport. And then I'll be gone until the end of July.
Wait, you're flying out the same day you're doing the stream?
Yeah, well, my flight is Saturday morning. It leaves at 5. So I'm gonna go to the airport at like probably an hour or two after I finish stream.
The fucking... The day does not end when the time ticks over 12 o'clock. The day ends when you go to sleep and wake back up. That's how it works.
Exactly.
God. Alrighty, chat. And please do go follow Hulky. As for yours truly, chat, tomorrow we got the rest of the Dark Heresy gang coming back over for our second session of our Dark Heresy stream. And then Saturday we got more XCOM 2. And again, Blue Sky, Discord. If I ever do go live with anything else, if there's ever a schedule change, I make those announcements there. On that note, speaking of Dark Heresy, I think I'm going to throw you out to one of our players, to the other toaster fucker. I'm going to throw you guys over at Tia.
Lovely. V, thank you so much again for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, Hulky, thank you for coming on over. Seriously, I can't thank you enough. Chat, There's a raid message. If you could do me a favor and copy it, and let Tia know who sent you, even though Tia will know who sent you, I'd appreciate that. I hope you all have a wonderful night, be good, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow. And if not, have a wonderful week. Mwah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Do it big, make it nasty. Take care.
Fucking do it big, take it... Wait, do it big...
Well, do it big, take it nasty. Not on this site.